sports. Think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs looking for a little payback on the Memphis Grizzlies. They'll take them on for the second game in a row inside the Frost Bank Center tonight. Tip-off set for 8:30. Washington offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury says he's going to wait until the season is over to interview with any teams that are interested, according to Pro Football Talk. That could be as early as Sunday. Of course, the Commanders take on the Lions in Detroit, 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, a football Friday. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway, or TPC, southbound side of 281. So I think the Stone Oak Parkway part, but come hang out with us. I mean, there is a sign right there that says "This way to the brew." I mean, there's pizza here, but when the sign is pointing you to where the beer is at, you got to love a place like that.
Absolutely. You got a little bar set up right there, which is really cool. So you can have a cold beer, or it looks like they've got some wine over there as well. If you're into that, that's good. But I tell you what, I'm full. My goodness, we just had a pizza, and I'm feeling pretty good about right now. It's it's nap time.
Yes, it is. Well, and again, I mean, had the double pepperoni pizza here at Round Table Pizza, and then they had some churros for dessert, which were fantastic. Woo! And something that I never thought I would see, and that was Greg Shelton, grumpy ass Greg Shelton, at the salad bar line, actually putting salad on a plate, and then we actually watched him eat it. I mean, and if you've seen Greg Shelton, no offense, dude, he doesn't look like he hits the salad bar very often.
I was just going to say, I think with that, look at that physique. I think that's all he does.
All he does is the salad bar. Well, and then I realized all the toppings he had. I told him at some point you got to put some lettuce in there. It can't be all the sunflower seeds and olives and eggs. I mean, it is a great-looking salad bar, and if you're into that, it looks wonderful. Actually, I might get a salad later because it looks that inviting. Might. I said might.
Now, see, that would surprise the entire world.
Every now and then, generally it's by force, I do mix in a salad.
Wow.
But there are some places where I do like a salad. But if I'm going to eat a salad versus pizza, I'm going pizza all day long. I don't go, but they do have a salad. Now, here's the thing. You want some incentive to come see us on this Friday here at Round Table Pizza? How about free?
How about free?
Free pizza.
Yeah.
While we're broadcasting today between 2 and 6, if you buy a pizza today and it doesn't put a deal on it, so you come get a pizza, you're going to get a coupon for a pizza, a free one, on your next visit.
That's a hell of a deal.
Absolutely.
Hell of a deal.
We also have a raffle going where one lucky person is going to win free pizza for a year.
Better deal.
Well, I mean, for one, for one, free pizza for a year. Everybody gets a free churro twist with every order today. $2 off their King Cup purchases. If you're getting your pizza to go, they're going to throw in a 2-liter soda for you. So come hang out with us. Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. It's on the southbound side of 281. So if you're coming up 281 north, you would go left. If you're coming 281 south from, say, Smithson Valley, Bulverde area, you would take a right. It's not that hard. Put it in your phone and get here.
Yeah, it's not that hard at all. It's a great place. Very nice place. And the food is fantastic. It is delicious. So come on out and hang out with us. Have a cold beer. Start your weekend off a little early with us here on the Blitz. And we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today.
Well,
man.
we do. There is so much to get into on this Football Friday. So much surrounding the Dallas Cowboys coaching search. And, you know, it's been about a week since we've known Mike McCarthy is not coming back. And there's a report out there from Diana Rossini, we'll get into it, that the Cowboys weren't prepared for this coaching search because they thought Mike McCarthy was coming back.
No.
And does that surprise you?
No.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out and understand a guy that we have covered for 30 years and a guy that you and I have been fortunate enough to have many conversations with where, we used to do a segment and still do at times what Jerry said and what Jerry means. And I thought at one point I was getting pretty good at interpreting what Jerry Jones was saying. I don't know anymore because his definition of all in is different than all of ours. And he said, hey, was in the barn. And once we figured out through the Redneck Handbook what that actually meant, Hay's not in the barn. It wasn't in the barn. Maybe he thought it was in the barn, and Mike McCarthy put a monkey wrench to that. But there is a coaching search going on that, again, by design, I think, for Jerry, because the publicity. Are you in the Deion camp? Are you in the let's go with the Witten camp, tried and true guy, little Kellen Moore? Do you want sizzle? What are you looking for? And everybody has ideas, and let's face it, only one guy's going to make a decision. That guy always wants sizzle. So you think that's got to be Deion Sanders.
Of course, you would add a ton of sizzle to that team. And who knows? Don't count Deion out. He may end up actually being a pretty damn good head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you can't count that out. He's got just as good a shot as a Kellen Moore, as a Ben Johnson, as a Jason Witten, as an Aaron Glenn. Who knows? I mean, he may turn out to be the guy you've been waiting for. You just don't know with any of these guys. It's a roll of the dice. But I'm going to tell you something. We're going to hear coming up a little bit later in the show from the voice of reason, a man that Jason Minix is in love with and always has been.
I'd hump his leg if he were right here.
It's exactly right, and he agrees with me.
To a degree.
He agrees with me.
To a degree, but this topic has even a guy like Troy Aikman talking out of both sides of his mouth. We're going to play a comment that Joe's like, yeah, see, he agrees with me.
That's right, he does.
And then the next sentence is why he disagrees with Joe Reinagle. I mean, it is insane with what you really want in a head coach and or a coordinator. Is it Deion? Is it not Deion? Because we'll do this coming up at 2:30. There is, yes, Deion. He'd be great. I wouldn't count him out. And but this is he doesn't say this is why you don't want Deion. But if you hear why you want Deion, and then you hear what you actually need in a coach and a coordinator, it ain't Deion Sanders. And that is the dilemma that Jerry Jones is facing. Even the great Troy Aikman essentially talking out of both sides of his mouth, inconsistent with his messaging, if you will. It is bizarre.
I didn't hear it that way.
Of course you didn't hear it that way. Well,
all I heard was he agrees with me.
Look, Joe, I will play it for you slowly, let you listen, and explain it to you, because sometimes you need that.
Sometimes I do, but in this case, I don't.
Sometimes it's like talking to a fourth grader, which you did a lot of today. So you have some experience today in talking to a bunch of fourth graders and how frustrating that can be.
Well, let me tell you something. I had a career day this morning out at Bolt Elementary School, and I think we're going to have a ton of new listeners because I put up our YouTube page, how to get there, up on the, they call it, I guess, whiteboards now. They're not chalkboards anymore. So put that up there. People were asking me. I've been challenged a couple of the kids to blow their parents away when they got picked up today. Immediately get in the car and say, would you put it on 94.1?
Good.
And so
did you bribe them?
Well, no.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? They wanted to. I said, you're going to blow your mom or dad or both away when you get in the car. So a lot of fun out there, a lot of new friends. And I tell you what, I did get all fourth graders. It's an elementary school, 1 to 5, I guess, or K to 5. And they were really good and interested in the message. A lot of sports fans out there.
A lot of sports fans.
Even in the fourth grade.
Any of them know who Troy Aikman is?
Nobody knew who Troy Aikman was. Nobody knew who Tim Duncan was. Or Manu Ginobili, for that matter.
That is bad parenting, people.
But they all knew who Victor Wembanyama is. All of them.
That's it. I mean, not to go off on a tangent, but I do think, and the further we get away from it, you're right, because we were talking about this, ironically, yesterday, with the passing of Bob Uecker. There are people that, had no idea John Madden was actually a coach. There are people that have no idea that Troy Aikman actually played football. That the further we get away from it, I know Jerry Jones would never do this, but I've said this since they built that new stadium. And that wasn't, 2008? Somewhere along those lines when they moved into that stadium. We need a fedora on the 35-yard line. I know Jerry would never name it Tom Landry Field. He would never do any of that kind of stuff. But and I know there's a statue there. But there needs to be a fedora at the 35-yard line so that when you're at a game with your 10-year-older watching and you see it, Dad, what is that? And you can say, son, let me tell you about Tom Landry. And then, and at some point, man, I got to tell you, my dad used to talk, your grandpa used to talk about Tom Landry because we are getting far enough away where there are people that have no idea about the great Tom Landry. And you think about the Dallas Cowboys and what they mean. And I know there's the Ring of Honor and all that, but that fedora on the 35-yard line is something that I've campaigned for. I asked Jerry about that one time, and let's just say he wasn't thrilled with the idea. Something about NFL rules and what can be on the field, but there are ways that they honor Tom, like the Ring of Honor and a statue. But there is that, having that fedora on the 35-yard line, I think needs to happen for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the Troy Aikman thing, you just tell it's very simple. Kids, been a Cowboys fan for a long time.
Here we go.
The last quarterback to win a Super Bowl as a Dallas Cowboy is named Troy Aikman.
Yes.
So that's how you'll always remember it. Maybe there needs to be a picture of Troy Aikman on the field, just that smiling up there with his Super Bowl rings, and they say, "Oh my gosh, Daddy, what is that? What is he wearing? What are those?"
Good Lord, fourth grader. Between that, Roger, but to me, there's something about the fedora and Tom Landry that just needs to happen. You're right, because let's face it, you want to watch the highlights of Troy, you got to pull out your VHS tape. They're not in HD. All of that is there. And a lot of failed quarterbacks in there. I'm with you.
Yes, there is. But
But that has nothing to do with having a fedora at the 35-yard line. Again, you put some low-hanging fruit there, and you're going to grab it.
Absolutely. I'm not just talking facts. It's not something I'm making up. It's just facts. So I was very surprised, though, that Tim Duncan, kids in San Antonio, growing up in San Antonio, and they don't know who Tim Duncan is. I had to explain. I taught those kids today more than their teachers have since the school came back into session.
Is that on the teachers or the parents, Professor Ryan?
Well, that's on the parents.
But let me ask you this, though. Any of those fourth graders remember you from TV?
No.
That was just 3 years ago.
No. I don't know if – it's funny because I asked them, any of you, do y'all watch local TV? You ever watch Channel 5? No. Sometimes they would raise their hand, right? Well, you get one or two, because there are probably about, 20 to 25 kids who would come in. So they'd bring a class in. I'd give my spiel. That class would leave. Another class would come in. And
really?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just an assembly like 500 kids at one time?
There were 4.
You thought you were going to be there 30 minutes and out, and you were there for hours?
No, I knew I was going to be there because they told me in advance how it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
But it was 4 different classes. And I tell you what, they asked some good questions, though. And the other thing that was kind of frightening, you'd see these little boys coming in here. I saw one with an Arizona Cardinals sweatshirt, another kid with a Dodgers T-shirt, and I'm like, what the hell? And then Ravens fans all over the place at this school.
It's Lamar. With today's kids, for those of you that aren't raising your children right, they like players, not teams. And that's what it boils down to. The NFL is getting very NBA-like, where it's more about the individual player than it is the team. The NBA has been that way for a long time. Although you were near the base, so a lot of military kids. So with those parents, you always kind of, all right, y'all, you're from Baltimore, I get it. If you're but you're in Texas now, you should adopt the Cowboys. That's the way it should be.
There was a random Texan fan in there too. So
oh, really?
I will say that.
Oh, he lose a bet, lose his fantasy league, and have to wear Texans gear.
When he raised his hand and said he was a Texan fan, and everybody laughed at him, he kind of slumped down in his chair.
Wow, it's like this kid we showed up here at Round Table Pizza. There's a guy that works up the road at Chase. He was in here having lunch, And he was like, which one is the Texan fan? I was like, oh, that's Pledge. He doesn't come out of the box. I said, are you a Texan fan? And he just kind of ducked, said, yeah. Yeah, he was a little embarrassed to admit it. Goes with the territory. Although I will say, as much crap as I talk, my wife this morning, and she said, man, I thought I had this. And deep in the dresser drawer was a long sleeve red Texans shirt.
No way.
I don't know if she has seen that in years, right? Like years.
How do you allow that in your house?
Well, when we were the Texans affiliate and used to go to games, she would always wear stuff. And the kid had a crush on J.J. Watt. I never, a couple of times I'd wear it, like we were doing stuff officially and, you're there and they give you a shirt and ask you to wear it. I would, chick on the side kind of thing, but I was getting paid. So, but yeah, she's like, well, they're playing this week. My team isn't. The Seahawks are out. Like, you really don't have to wear a shirt just because. She's like, no, it's Football Friday. You're supposed to wear teams this. And
so she wore a Texans jersey to work.
A T-shirt, a long sleeve T-shirt.
Wow.
She did. I was embarrassed for her.
Yeah, well,
I was embarrassed for her.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the biggest Cowboy fan I know, and you're allowing your wife to troll around in a Texans
allowing
T-shirt?
My wife.
Oh, my gosh.
You've met this woman. I hear how you talk, and generally speaking, though, she's wearing Seattle Seahawks stuff. Because
that's even worse.
But that's her team. She's from Seattle.
Wow.
But she'll wear cowboy gear when we're going to a Cowboy. She doesn't give a damn. As long as she fits in, it's fashionable.
All right.
It works. It works.
Who wears the pants in your family?
Same as yours, brother. Same as yours. We're at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. We're here till 6 o'clock. Come in, buy a pizza, get a pizza free on your next visit. Everybody's getting free pizza. Let's talk about the Cowboys coaching possibilities and who really is the favorite. We'll dive into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rising hot! South Texas home of the College Football Playoff National Championship is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. After 10 games that started back on December 20th, only one is left. Number 7 Notre Dame versus the highly favored number 8 seed Ohio State. The College Football Playoff National Championship, Monday at 5:30. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota, The Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue on South Texas' first FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, Call now. 800-575-9047. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG, so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Just scared about 3 people standing right over there. Like, whoa, he jumped, almost dropped something. It happens. We have that effect on people.
We do.
We can scare you, too, if you come over here to Round Table Pizza. 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. We're here till 6 o'clock. Great place to start your Friday. Buy a pizza and get a free pizza on your next visit. Everybody that orders a pizza between now and 6 o'clock will get a free pizza on their next visit. Everybody gets free churros with their order today. Come hang out, man. Those churros are fantastic.
Dude, those churros are something else, man. They are fantastic. So you got to come in and try this. They've got new sandwiches that are just outstanding as well. The food here is fantastic.
Round Table Pizza in Stone Oak. Come hang out with us here. The Cowboys working on a new head coach. Deion, Kellen, and it's unpredictable on who really is the clubhouse leader. That DraftKings has stopped taking bets on the next Cowboys coach. There were some sharps in there, and they were thinking, well, what inside knowledge do they have? You could debate, is it this guy, that guy? What are you looking for? In fact, I've got a video up on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram at SA Sports Star, where you can comment there with what are you looking for. I'd be all in on Deion. But then I need to know who the coordinator is. I think he, leader of men, lets coordinators do their job, would have the respect of the locker room. You could put a Robert Saleh in that kind of category as well, that would command the respect and lead. What are the coordinators going to do? Do you go with the yes man, no sizzle, Kellen Moore, who honestly, in my mind, might be the best guy for Dak Prescott, just knowing how well their offenses were when they were together, and who knows how much freedom of his offense he really had under Mike McCarthy. Did he get 100% control or not? We don't know. Or another candidate like a Cliff Kingsbury, who I'm a little surprised, Joe, isn't getting any more buzz than he is.
Well, I don't know why. And maybe it's because he's had a stint as a head coach and it didn't work out too well. That should not be an issue. But you know how NFL teams are, Jason. I mean, they get fickle and they get people that they just don't want to look at. Obviously, right now, Ben Johnson is the hottest ticket in town, right? Everybody wants a piece of Ben Johnson. Then Aaron Glenn might be there as well. As far as Kellen Moore, he's going to have some other interviews. The Jags are supposed to interview him, and was it the Saints? Somebody else was going to interview Kellen Moore, so he'll have some opportunities. Look, Kellen Moore's a safe pick. Jerry Jones he can say, look, I hired a guy. He knows my quarterback. He's an offensive guy. He can do some things. And he's the guy that I love. I've always wanted to keep him, but McCarthy didn't. So here he is. He's going to get his opportunity. I'm just not even sure if that's the right pick. I mean, obviously the guy is an offensive mind. I get it. I'll give him that. But I just think at some point in time, Jerry needs to roll the dice. He needs to take a chance, to stab in the dark. Why not? And hire somebody outside the box. And let's go and let's see how it is.
What do you consider outside the box, Deion?
Deion is definitely outside the box.
I don't know, because he fits all the boxes that Jerry has. I know you. I love you. We're friends. And he's got all the sizzle and, you know, the perception. Now, you're all on board with Deion.
I am.
But if he were to hire Dion Sanders, and again, I'm not against it, depending on who the coordinator is. But if he hires Deion, he's going to get ridiculed for all you're trying to do is get headlines and you're not making a winning football decision. Deion has had success as a head coach in a lot of different ways except wins and losses. And what are we judged on? Well, Mike McCarthy had a lot of success in Dallas in the regular season, not playoff success. What is he judged on? When you look at the win-loss record for Deion at Colorado, is that worthy of jumping to an NFL job? It would be very similar to say, hey, Cliff Kingsbury, his win-loss record in Lubbock, was that worthy to jump from there? You got fired to getting a head coaching job, but Arizona wanted to hire a coach that could coach up Kyler Murray. You look at you know, so sometimes it's not about record, it's about fit. You know, now Cliff is still getting paid by the Arizona Cardinals. So his buyout money, until he becomes a head coach somewhere else, Bidwell has to continue to write him checks. So that could be part of why Cliff is like, I'm not taking interviews until after this season. I'll judge interest and see what I want to do, because he's still getting head coaching money from the Arizona Cardinals while he's also collecting an OC paycheck in Washington. In next cycle, more success like he's having here, his name is going to be floated up there again. You know, just like everybody else that we're talking about, we're looking at and talking about guys that weren't successful their first time around. Will they get another crack, whether it's a Robert Saleh or, you know, one of these other guys who are on to their second or third head coaching jobs? Cliff is in that same boat, and he's young enough to continue to go.
Cliff needs to stay in Washington another year. I'd like to see him continue to work with Jaden Daniels. I think they've done a good job. Jaden Daniels has progressed. Stay with him another year. See what's out there next year. And you know, just suck off the Arizona Cardinals you know what I'm talking about, as long as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just and continue to do that and work with that. I think that Washington team is a team on the rise. And I honestly believe you keep the coaching staff in place and let's go another year, another round. I would like to see that. And for Cliff's sake too. See what's available next year. There's going to be more openings, obviously, next year, and you won't have the hot coordinators like a Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn to compete with. So,
although there is something, and I grant it, I love Cliff Kingsbury. I've known him since he was high school. Covered him since he was in high school. His dad, everything about his family, right? And I would love for him to get the Dallas Cowboys coaching job just because. I mean, you grow up New Braunfels High School, you know, and you rise to that level. But on a personal level, I mean, Cliff has been single forever, right? And I say single. He's never married. I mean, never really alone, if you know what I mean. But,
right.
But I know when he was in Lubbock, he used to go to Dallas to date. So, I mean, you know, that could be good for a lot of people up there in the Metroplex if he were to get that job.
Or maybe that's why he doesn't want to go.
That's a good point.
Too many exes. Cliff is in a good spot. I would really like to see. I think that Washington football team is going to be better next year than they are this year. I think another year under Dan Quinn, keep Cliff Kingsbury there.
There are people trying to eat. They're going to throw up here. If you say that.
Daniels will get better. They can add some weapons to that team. I think he needs to stay exactly where he is. But for Jerry Jones, roll the dice, man. Let's offer Deion Sanders. There's been reports he would take the job if offered. I know there's a buyout. I don't think Jerry gives a damn about a buyout. I really don't. And then I see another report today that, the only thing that would save Jerry from everybody is to just reach out there and grab Bill Belichick. That would be the worst thing Jerry could do. I mean, but, Jerry does some stupid things sometimes.
And it feels like this coaching search is very unorganized. Now, it might feel unorganized to us. Maybe Jerry's got a plan all along. Remember, hay is in the barn. He told us that 2 weeks ago. In fact, 2 weeks ago today, he used that term, the hay was in the barn. So we all called our redneck friends and say, what does this mean? Well, Diana Rossini on her Scoop City podcast today, and of course she works for The Athletic, says, maybe it's because they weren't prepared for this coaching search. They thought Mike McCarthy was coming back.
Jerry was not expecting Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys to go separate ways. The plan was to bring him back. They did not have a plan in place here. So a lot of this was scrambling from what I can gather of just, I need to figure out how to fix this quickly. Wow. And so now we're seeing, the coaches get called in. Robert Saleh is going to meet with them over the weekend. Leslie Frazier, right? We'll start to see more names. Kellen Moore is going to meet with them on Friday before the divisional round. So he's got his eyes on Kellen Moore. But this Deion factor, I think, is going to weigh over the NFL until they make a decision on who's going to be the next head coach.
Absolutely. She's exactly right. Look, I think Mike McCarthy went in and made a demand to Jerry. And I don't think Jerry was expecting it. I think Jerry just thought he could offer Mike McCarthy whatever he wants, and Mike was just happy to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and McCarthy gave him a bird's up and said, no, I want this or I'm out. And Jerry said no, and McCarthy's out. So I think Diana Rossini is absolutely right. It caught them by surprise.
And the idea of the incentive-based contract, I mean, Jerry cooked up some things in his mind, and almost the way they wanted to get Dak done before the season started because he hits free agency, what's going to happen? But they rolled the dice with Mike McCarthy, not expecting Mike McCarthy to walk, and it certainly feels like that was the case. I mean, there was a lot of talk over the last month. Do we know if Mike McCarthy really wants this job? Does he want to deal with the Jerry BS? And even though he said yes and he liked it there and the family and all that, when it came down to it, whatever that contract offer was, if they didn't negotiate, must have been so disrespectful that McCarthy did say, birds up, I'm out. And now a leading candidate for the Chicago job could end up in New Orleans. He's going to have a job somewhere. And, I think he's too, I don't know what the word is. He'll never really tell us the truth about what really went south. I don't know that we'll ever truly get that out of Mike McCarthy, but it is fascinating that the Cowboys have this search now. And then you get Troy Aikman, somebody that we know Jerry values Troy's opinion. And Troy's like, I don't know if there is anybody that's a right fit for this job. He uses the term too many hurdles. There's one. His name is Jerry. But then Troy talks out of both sides of his mouth and what the Cowboys actually need. You decide what he's trying to say. Coming up here on the Blitz, live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
The boogeyman is supposed to be whatever scares you.
So it's my wife.
It's your wife after you show up 30 minutes late to your planned date night.
Yeah, see?
Except she's uglier and heavier than you know her.
Yeah.
Even if I fix this, now I'm going to have sex with an ugly, fat version of my wife. Damn it.
Unfortunately, that's real life for her.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. Single Care works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check Single Care to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Paramount Plus is your streaming home for the NFL playoffs on CBS. This weekend in the divisional round presented by Intuit TurboTax, Josh Allen and the Bills host Lamar Jackson and the Ravens for a spot in the AFC Championship. Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? Hims can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix, live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway, south side of 281. Round Table Pizza. This place is fantastic. There's a sign up there that says "This way to the brew."
And there it is, right there. I can see it from here. A lot of beer on tap. They've got beer in the cooler. I see some wine glasses over there as well. So, pizza, beer, pizza, wine. It all goes very well together.
It does. Their sandwiches, the wings, and something I didn't think I would see. Greg Shelton actually hitting up the salad bar.
Yeah,
and they got a great salad bar.
You're going to be over there before the day's over, I guarantee you.
It's a good-looking salad bar. If you're going to mix in a salad, I'm just stunned that Shelton actually had a a salad.
Well, then he had about 3 of those churros afterwards.
He did,
so.
but he did mix in a salad, so he feels better about himself the rest of the day. I mean, the large pizza, the wings, the churros,
but he had a salad
and a Diet Coke. I mean,
Exactly.
It's perfect, man. He got his balance in there. Come hang out today. Everybody that makes a pizza order, you're going to get a coupon for a free pizza on your next visit. Everybody gets some free churros today, and somebody's going to win pizza for a year here from Round Table Pizza. We're here till 6. Those offers until 6 o'clock today.
Yeah, so get on in here. Start your weekend with us. You get up there and have a cold beer and a pizza and just kick off your Friday the way it's supposed to be kicked off. Round Table Pizza, come join us.
The idea of the Cowboys coaching search has hit the levels of Troy Aikman, who was on the ticket up in Dallas. And I love Troy Aikman. If my daughter had 21 appendages and was a him, it was going to be named Troy David after Aikman, TD Minix. Instead I've got an Erica. Love Troy.
That's your fault, by the way. I'm just saying.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. I don't know. I mean, most things are my fault.
That's true.
But you think about Troy, and Jerry Jones values Troy Aikman's opinion. So when Troy speaks, you should all listen, because Troy is one that Jerry does call. Jerry talks about it. Troy talks about it. And even Troy Aikman talking out of both sides of his mouth when it comes to the next Cowboys head coach. Troy Aikman is a big, big fan of Deion Sanders.
I wouldn't bet against him. I absolutely would never bet against Deion. I've just seen it too many times. And I've said it when he took the Jackson State job. I was so proud of him for doing that. And it's one thing to coach your kids through Pop Warner, and then you do through middle school and high school, but to really put your reputation out there on the line and take on that Jackson State job, and then to do what he was able to do, and then go to Colorado and on a bigger stage and do what he's done there. He's proven that he's earned the opportunity. So if he lands a job in Dallas, if that ultimately is what happened, or if he goes somewhere else within the NFL or even in the college ranks, he's earned that opportunity. So whether it's a good fit, or I don't know if I'd look at anyone and say it's necessarily a great fit. I just think there's a lot of hurdles, and so it may not be a great fit for anyone. But if Deion were to come on board, I think it'd be fantastic. I think he would relate exceptionally well to the locker room. It's amazing that for someone who's as far removed from having played, the reverence that these current players have for his career and what he was as a player. It's pretty remarkable, and it says a lot for him. So I think he'd be fantastic no matter where he is. And as you guys have heard me say, I'm a big fan, and I would never bet against him.
Yeah, there you go. There's an endorsement for Deion Sanders from the great Troy Aikman.
Is it?
Needs to happen.
Well, again, you heard all of that, right? I mean, you hear that, and you're like Joe. You quit listening to everything else.
That's
you just
it.
heard Troy Aikman said Deion Sanders. But if Deion Sanders is the head coach, he's going to hire an offensive coordinator. He's going to hire a defensive coordinator, and Deion Sanders lets his coordinators do their job 100%. He doesn't get in their way. Right?
It's the way it should be.
Well, it's the way it should be. Although Troy then goes on to say, the head coach actually needs to be a play caller.
I think that in today's league, in a perfect world, I would want a head coach that was calling the plays. Someone like Kyle Shanahan, someone like Sean Payton. Mike McCarthy certainly was that guy, but I would want an offensive guy, and I'd want to be in love with the scheme and the offense that he was running. And then when you get beyond that, he has to be able to be the head coach. And if you've got a great offensive mind, but you don't feel that he would make a great head coach for the entire team, then I think you've got to go in a different direction. But ideally, I'd want a head coach that was calling the plays, because you guys have probably heard me say this over the years, that I think offensive coordinator is the hardest job on the staff, calling plays. Everybody has an opinion. Rarely do you hear people criticize or go after the defensive coordinator on a given call. But every person sitting on the couch, every owner, everybody in the organization, everybody on the team, everyone has an opinion on whether that was a good play call offensively or whether it was not. Let's say, for instance, Dan Campbell in Detroit. He's got Ben Johnson. He's done a great job. When Ben took over as the play caller, that's when really things started to ascend in Detroit, especially offensively. And now he leaves. Well, Dan's got to have a backup plan as far as who's going to replace him. And those guys are hard to find. They're really hard to find. So I would tell you it's easier to find a head coach than it is to find a great offensive coordinator. And that's why I'd want to go with an offensive guy. And for those guys, for those teams like San Francisco, like Denver, that have a play caller and a real head coach that everyone knows is in charge, they've got a real luxury.
Well, there's another statement right there that everybody knows who's in charge. And in Dallas, I'm not sure that's the case. Well, I get what he's saying. There's only a handful of coaches in the NFL that are play callers and head coach, right? And some of them are successful, some are not. He mentions Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell went out and hired a very good offensive coordinator, and he's got a good one. That's what good coaches do. They hire good people, and they let them do their job. And any head coach, if they're not the play caller, you're putting the game plan in together. It's not just the offensive coordinator goes away for a week and says, I got this offensive game plan. Dan, just let me run it, and you don't need to know what it is. That's not how it works.
Again, but it's a little odd to hear Troy talking out of both sides of his mouth like that, because in a perfect world, this is what you would want, realizing that we don't live in a perfect world. And if your best candidate to be the head coach isn't that guy, who is? When you look at a guy like Kellen Moore, there is an article by Jory Epstein on Yahoo where she talked to some people that have been in interviews that Kellen has had for head coaching jobs, and he has wowed them. But is Kellen Moore, and we don't know this, the kind of guy that can stand up in front of that locker room and command the respect of everybody? Can he be the head coach for the entire team, not just for the offense? Because he would have to do that. We don't really know what Kellen is like in that locker room, or if he could command that respect. Would he be the best hire for Dak Prescott, thinking about how well the offense worked when he was the OC, going from backup, their relationship? Dak's input matters, although Dak also endorsed Mike McCarthy coming back. And
that didn't matter.
Well, and again, though, if Jerry thought Mike was coming back and Mike said, screw you, Jerry Jones, a little surprised. Because Troy also talked about, should Dak be involved in the decision-making process?
Yeah, I had some conversations. I don't really remember exactly if I don't know that I had that much input. But I will say that, and I've said this before, I do think that Jerry values the opinion of the quarterback, and I think that he has always wanted to. He's always wanted the quarterback to be on board with the decisions that are being made. So I would be surprised if Dak isn't involved in some of those conversations. Now, ultimately, will Dak be the one who picks the head coach? No. Was I? No. Was Tony Romo? I don't think so. I doubt it. So, but I do. That's not totally unusual. I think it's fairly common, especially if you're talking about a franchise quarterback, which Dak is, and he's going to be there and he's invested in the organization. So that's part of it.
Look, Dak can say, yes, I like this guy, but ultimately it's not his decision. And that doesn't matter that he's the owner's Jerry Jones. I think that would be anywhere. That would be unless you're a New York Jet and you let Aaron Rodgers completely take over the franchise. I mean, there's one thing. But look, you can have your input, and I'm sure Jerry would listen. Dak, I would really like to have Kellen Moore back here. I think that'd be great. Jerry would say, all right, Dak, thank you very much. But I don't know if that's the ultimate thing that would push it over the edge.
That Jory Epstein article on Yahoo, and you think about Kellen Moore, because the longer this goes, the more I think it could end up being Kellen Moore, like Kellen or Deion. But if Jerry gets a shiny object or not, he's going shiny object. He's Jerry Jones, right? What's that thing that babies have in their crib that's above there? You got all those grandkids. What is that thing called where, they get fascinated by the little objects and reach for the shiny one? I mean, that's Jerry when it comes to the mobile. That's that. How do you know that, Pledge? That's alarming. But, the idea that, that feels like Jerry Jones. Can Kellen Moore be the coach for the entire team? Then, there are some examples of coaches that are a little bit more reserved, but they went out and hired fiery defensive coordinators like what you have in Minnesota right now. Then the coordinator for the defensive side, the defensive coordinator hire, could it be somebody that has a little bit more of a stronger personality, like bringing a Zim back in that role where he could have that? Seems weird, but when you look around the league, Cleveland, Minnesota, they got offensive genius type head coaches that aren't that commanding big personality, right? So you can create a balance within your senior coaching staff, your senior leadership, even if your head coach isn't that fiery leader.
I heard an interview with LaShawn McCoy. I think it was earlier today. And he was talking about Deion Sanders, and he was talking about the respect. He said coaches come in all the time, and guys are going to play for them because it's their job. It's just like if you didn't like your boss, you're still going to show up for work every day, and you're going to do your job. But it doesn't mean that they have respect for the guy. And as soon as things go south, if they do, then you can see a locker room splinter.
Yep.
And that's a problem. And his point was a guy like Deion Sanders, guys are automatically going to have respect. You're not going to have to earn it. A guy like Kellen Moore is going to have to come in and earn that respect. Some of those guys know him. Some of those guys have been with him in the locker room, and maybe they all like him. But I think he's going to have to earn the respect of that defensive side of the football, if you will, as the head coach, just like a Ben Johnson would. He would have to earn that respect too. A guy like Aaron Glenn may not have to do that because of the way he played, I just think that it doesn't matter. You've got to earn that respect. What's best for the team? What's best for Dak Prescott? I'm not sure at this point in time. I just think Kellen Moore is an easy way out for Jerry Jones, and if he goes that way, then he's taking the easy way out.
Well, it's the safest way.
Well, is it?
Again, when you think about, you've got the highest paid player in the NFL, what can you do to maximize that investment? And so even if you hire Deion, then the next important hire is that offensive coordinator that is going to be able to get the most out of Dak Prescott. And Kellen Moore is the son of a coach, all those kind of things. I mean, he was born to be a coach. The fact that he was there, left, learned some other things from other organizations, and could come back as a head coach. I mean, I'm not against it. It has no sizzle, but is that the best hire for the dysfunctional organization that is the Dallas Cowboys? Because the Cowboys have done this dance with Deion before. Now, I'm not sure which one of the gazillion documentaries this was pulled out of, because I saw it on Twitter, and it is funny. And this is going back. I mean, this video is old. I mean, Jerry doesn't look as old. Steven doesn't have gray hair. But it's when they brought Deion in as a player, and at the time, sound familiar? Couldn't really afford to sign a free agent like that.
Go for the quality. Everything with me going to the Cowboys was Jerry. Everybody in Jerry's family wasn't with it.
I was our capologist at the time. I was really the guy learning the cap. Had a really good feel for it.
I know you're trying to get the numbers, and this is what we ought to be doing, is the hard numbers. But when you really look at it, we really don't have many like this.
And Jerry comes in there and goes, boy, he's smiling ear to ear. And he goes, guess what? And I said, what? We got us a cornerback. Deion's coming to Dallas. And he goes, it's very simple. We give him $13 million signing bonus and 3 years of minimum salaries. And I go, that's like record setting. That's not going to sit well with our team. And he goes, we can't do that. And he goes, well, I already did it.
He basically shoves me up against the door with his forearm. And I looked at him and kind of smiled. I said, you're really not going to hit me, are you?
And of course, I took a deep breath, and he said, look, here's what we'll do. I can already tell you I'll be able to sell Troy, Michael, and Nemeth that this is going to be good for us. Doesn't hurt us under the cap.
I called a team meeting and put Deion's salary numbers on the board so that everybody could look at it. And I said, now I'm going to ask this room, do you want Deion or Knight? And, of course, the deal was a big yes, we want him immediately.
Yeah, well, and so, I mean, Jerry's going to do what Jerry does. And again, discussions, and makes me wonder, how many times does Steven have to shove Jerry up against a wall or a door? Isn't that very similar to what we heard about the Johnny Manziel pick? You did what? And yeah, Steven had to push me up against the it's just bizarre, but it is interesting because this is all Jerry's call, but at 80 whatever, possibly something that Steven is going to inherit. And according to that beginning of that clip, that was Deion Sanders talking. Jerry wanted me, not everybody in the family did, and it was Steven that didn't want to spend that kind of money back then, which I find interesting because, fast forward all these years and now it's for your head coaching position.
Think about this. At 82 years old, this could very well be Jerry's last coaching hire. I hope not.
Actually, I hope it is.
Well, I hope
because then it works.
Well, I hope the man lives forever. I'm just saying, if it goes south, then that's why I don't see Jerry Jones taking the safe route here. If he doesn't go with Deion Sanders, I just can't imagine that Kellen Moore is that guy. I mean, I'd have to talk to Kellen, and you'd have to hear what the rest of the players say, hear what Jerry and Steven have to say. I'd love to hear the other people that have talked to him and what makes them believe he is head coaching material. I have no doubt the man is a good offensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he's unproven, just like anybody else is. And so you just don't know. And his demeanor is such that a Cowboys team that could use a little toughness, Kellen Moore doesn't scream toughness, and he certainly doesn't scream a change of culture in that locker room.
That's where the DC hire comes in.
Well, but it should be from the head coach. The head coach's personality needs to forge the team's personality.
I don't disagree with that, but you look around the NFL and you see some examples in teams that are having success, like in Minnesota, where the head coach doesn't seem to have that personality. And what we don't know is what Kellen is like leading a meeting, leading a practice. It's like Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett on the podium was awful. You and I both had the opportunity to watch Jason Garrett lead practices, different guy. And you wonder if Kellen would be a different guy in that role. Garrett never lost that locker room. To your point with the LaShawn McCoy part, Mike McCarthy never lost that locker room. The guys respected both of them. Would they have that same respect for Kellen Moore if Kellen were to end up with the job? It's the safe pick, which is very unlike Jerry Jones to make.
That's why I don't think it will be Kellen Moore. I just don't. I don't think Jerry goes the safe route this time. I think, and it may not be Deion Sanders, but I just don't think it's going to be Kellen Moore. There's nothing in Kellen Moore that screams to me, you're the guy. You're the one. Nothing screams to me when I look at this guy and say, to me, I cannot see him roaming the sidelines as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
And it's bizarre because, at 82, to use his term for the offseason, does Jerry go all in on Deion Sanders? If this is the last one, man, push those chips to the middle and let's have some fun.
Absolutely.
Going out. And get as much attention as you possibly could, and then let Deion put together a staff. And again, the longer you wait, now it's not like anybody else is making hires, but as Claymore points out on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix, you hire a coach and then they hire your staff. The best of the best are getting picked up first.
Sure.
And so, clock is ticking. Clock is ticking. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. There is a lawsuit going on right now in San Antonio. Lady is suing Bill Millers over hot barbecue sauce. Good Lord. We'll explain coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service, GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at GMTVCC.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Now at Staples, find hot deals on HP, America's most trusted printer brand. Whether you need to print invoices or eye-catching presentations, HP delivers with exceptional speed, reliability, and vibrant color. And with HP, replenishing ink is simple. Find HP ink cartridges in-store at Staples or subscribe to HP Instant Ink and never worry about running out. And right now with home and office hot deals at Staples, you can save up to $150 on select HP printers through February 1st.
You have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
What a fun weekend it's going to be. The divisional round of the playoffs this weekend. Of course, you can catch them all on your home for the NFL playoffs. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Starts with a doubleheader tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Texans head to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Joe Mixon, by the way, is questionable on the injury report with an ankle issue. That'll be followed up by the Lions welcoming in the Commanders to Detroit. Then Sunday, the doubleheader kicks off at 1:30. Eagles, Rams, Bills, Ravens.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. On this Football Friday, we are live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. We are here until 6 o'clock. You can come join us and get free pizza.
Absolutely. They're giving away free pizza. You buy a pizza here today, they're going to give you a coupon for a free pizza on your next visit. So free pizza. And the beer's cold.
Beer is cold.
The food is delicious.
Yes.
You can also get free churros?
Yeah, free churros with every order. They've got $2 off their King Cup purchases. And we've got a are you going to eat a churro live on the air?
No, but I'm going to show these off. Look at this.
Somebody is going to win free pizza for a year. We got a raffle going on. If you're watching on YouTube, that is Joe holding up his churro.
Well, yeah, kind of.
You wish.
Mine's not as twisty.
Yeah. That is your churro. It is twisty.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they're delicious. I'm going to tell you what. You get a pizza, just don't put it on your pizza. All right, you get the churro for dessert afterwards.
It's like pineapple on your pizza.
Exactly.
Yes. The debate rages on.
You know what? If you like that kind of stuff, they'll be happy to put pineapple on your pizza here at Round Table Pizza.
John Sobery wants to know on our YouTube channel, do they have these swords and shields on the wall like the old stores did? Well, it is pizza royalty, and it does come from California. And if you remember it from California, they have some special merch for you. You know, if the coming into a Round Table Pizza makes it feel like your home. But yeah, there is a lot of, there's some crowns over there and different things like that. So, John, you got to come in and look for your sword, sir.
He's been looking for a long time. It looks like a shield over there. It kind of looks like a shield, right? Where it says pickup. So you pick up your order over there, and it looks like an old-fashioned shield.
If you're stretching, but I'll give you that.
No, I'm just saying that's kind of what that looks like.
It's kind of like a deal with an arrow, but if you want to go with that's a shield, go with that.
Absolutely, that's what I'm going with.
That works.
I like the restroom sign. You got a queen crown and a king crown.
Now, if those crowns were separated, would you know which was a king and which was a queen, or would you just think that's just two different kinds of crowns?
Of course, the king crown has more things going up.
I think it's opposite.
No, the king's crown is on the right. Am I right?
No.
Say yes.
No, I would say that's the queen's.
No, it's not the queen's.
That's the queen's.
That's the king's.
It would have a chance at more jewelry. It'd be bedazzled.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the one with the
one that looks
the big thing sticking up in the middle.
Exactly.
That's the king, huh? Now, see, Shelton is going to investigate this.
Yeah.
He walked over to the restrooms, and he's going to check it out and gets the answer, and he doesn't know either.
Well, I mean, did you really think he was going to figure it out? I mean, that lovely lady with the glass of wine right now, she could probably figure it out pretty easy.
Which is which?
Yeah.
This women's is the more of the – okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
All right, that's all I wanted to know.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's Daddy. She agrees with me, so she clearly is 100% accurate.
Well, I'll take her word for it. Yours, I wasn't going to take your word for it. I'll take her word for it.
I mean, all it takes is a quick glance at the one that's for the king to go, yeah, that's the dude.
I guess.
Right? I mean, really. I mean, yes.
All you need to know is that there are two restrooms in there. One is a men's, one is a women's. All right, you don't have to worry about the crowns. Okay, they're both in there, and it clearly says men and women.
Ryan,
I like that.
You
that
have
looks
such
nice.
an issue determining which is the men's room. It's like when we were doing our show in Vegas at Circa, and you couldn't figure out which one to go into.
Well,
and we're going back to Circa in March. Details on that coming up, but that is going to happen if you guys want to start planning.
I do remember that. You remember it was confusing as hell.
You were the only one confused by it.
Well,
you're a dumb butt.
You are the only one confused on which one to go into.
Yeah. It was very confusing for everybody.
Not just you.
I'm the only one with guts enough to admit it.
No, you're the only one of everybody there. You're the only one that accidentally went into the ladies' room.
Just for a minute.
Which was 58 seconds too long.
I turned around really quick.
Really quick.
Yes. There were no ladies harmed in the making of that movie.
That you know of.
That I know of.
I mean, you could be getting sued for pain and suffering.
Yeah, I could
because that does happen. Let's talk about it on the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Stuff that restaurants have to deal with. There is a 19-year-old lady suing Bill Miller for more than $1 million She alleges the restaurant served her dangerously hot barbecue sauce, and it caused severe burns on her leg.
Wow.
It's going on right now in the Bexar County Courthouse. I saw a report from our friend Robert Price from KBB on this, and this 19-year-old claims she suffered second-degree burns to her thigh while trying to put sauce on her breakfast tacos in the parking lot of a Bill Miller down on Old Pearsall in 410 back in 23. She was 18 at the time. She ordered breakfast tacos with barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But let's start with that.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. You ordered breakfast tacos with barbecue sauce, right? Now, and she claims, though, that the 4-ounce plastic cup of barbecue sauce was so hot she dropped it and had and it left severe burns on her right thigh. Now, there was a photo of her thigh, looks kind of gross, and I'm thinking from hot barbecue sauce?
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Right? But again, I don't know. But it's Bill Miller's fault because they served her food that was too hot. Now, or the hot sauce was too hot and the container wasn't. I don't. And
wouldn't it melt if it was that hot?
I again, don't bring sense to this. But you know, I don't know. She also works in the food service industry, so you know she's kind of trained on how to deal with this. But this is going to a jury now. It is interesting, according to the Robert Price report, Bill Miller's. They did pay for her visit to the clinic.
Yeah, they did.
And she never went to any other follow-ups, which Bill Miller said they would pay. She's suing for lost wages. She has the same job, according to this report, so it didn't cost her job. But apparently she needs money for pain and suffering.
I'd like to be on that jury.
Oh, I wish I was on that jury.
I was on that jury. I'd like to hear everything that's going on there and then make the call because you don't know. I mean, lawyers are pretty slick.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right? I mean, they're pretty slick guys and gals. So,
yeah.
Interesting. We'll continue to follow that story and see how it turns out.
Yeah. And again, it was so severe. She went to the doctor originally and never went back.
It does look pretty bad. Now, I don't know what it was caused from, whether it was sauce or something else, but the picture is pretty nasty.
I'm just trying to think. Bill Miller's barbecue sauce isn't hot. Right?
Well, it's warm.
Yeah, but not hot.
Well, not supposed to
I mean,
be.
Honestly, I mean, no offense to Bill Miller, but I mean, it's not scorching hot. They didn't give her, or I've never gotten boiling barbecue sauce, and then I'm still not over. You got breakfast tacos and barbecue sauce. Now, I'm not against it. I want to know. It doesn't say what kind of taco she ordered.
What do you mean you're not against it? Unless it was a brisket taco.
Well, it could have been.
Could have been. That's the only way.
You know, but again, if you've got good brisket, you don't need sauce.
But if I'm on the jury and I find out she ordered, I don't know, potato and egg, then I'm screaming something.
Well, I mean, people's tastes are all over. There are some people that like pineapple on their pizza. You can't fault people for their taste if you don't like it. But as Greg Shelton from the top rope, you put ketchup on your chicken fried steak with gravy, which is just gross.
It's delicious.
No, it's
actually,
not.
And I've never had my leg burned.
Well,
I never have.
But
have.
Gravy could burn your thigh. I mean,
it could if it's been a long time since I dropped hot gravy on my thigh.
Well, but again, though, is it Bill Miller's fault if she is in the car trying to pour barbecue sauce on the taco and it lands on her leg?
No.
That's Bill Miller's fault.
No. Well, look, McDonald's had to deal with that how many times with the hot coffee, right?
Well, I mean, coffee's hot.
Well, okay, duh.
But
right?
But somebody needs to tell us that.
Somebody needs to tell us that?
Apparently, because, some lady retired off of that.
Well,
argument.
just think about it. If you look at a cup, if you get coffee at McDonald's or anywhere now, there's a warning label on there.
Yeah.
Contents may be hot.
I mean, you realize every warning label out there is because somebody did something stupid. I mean, honestly, every warning label out there is a reaction to somebody's stupidity.
That's exactly right. And somebody got rich.
Yep.
And so they had to change that because they didn't want somebody else getting rich.
Yes. I mean, there There are any warning label you see, you realize at some point somebody did something dumb.
Well, there you go. Kids, don't pour barbecue sauce on your tacos while you're driving a car. Don't do that.
Actually,
do we need a warning label?
I think you went too far with that. Kids, barbecue sauce doesn't go on breakfast tacos.
Unless it's a brisket taco.
Even then, if you've got good brisket, you don't need sauce.
And they've got good hot sauce there, by the way.
They do. And Bill Miller's breakfast tacos, underrated. I like Bill Miller's breakfast tacos, and I've never once thought, this needs barbecue sauce.
Never. No. Nope.
I'm just saying.
Well, we'll keep you posted on how that goes.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how the jury sides with that. Because if she wins, we're all pouring barbecue sauce on our thighs.
No, they'll have a warning label on it. Contents might be hot. And there you go. Gets it out of it.
Well, but until they can print all those little cups.
Yeah.
You got a chance. All I could imagine of what a great TikTok video that would be, except for you'd have to produce that video before Sunday because the Supreme Court unanimously decided today to uphold that judge that bans TikTok starting Sunday.
Sunday. Unless it's changed somehow, some way.
Well,
right? Supreme Court. I don't know where you appeal that thing.
Well,
right?
It's going to be up to Donald Trump. He takes over on Monday. So the Biden administration says, yeah, that's Trump's problem. Monday's a holiday.
Yeah.
But apparently the Apple platforms and the other platforms could face major fines for hosting it. So I'm not sure how this is all going to work. If it's just going to disappear off your phone on Sunday. But apparently TikTok is going away until it can get sold to a non-Chinese owner.
That's it.
And that ain't going to happen by Sunday either.
Well, you never know. Somebody comes in and swoops in and saves the day. I don't know, but we'll see. That's another one we got to keep. But Sunday, huh?
Sunday.
It's a good thing there's no NFL games on TikTok. I'm happy about that.
Well, good point.
Which, you never know.
For a lot of people, they spend a little time in a room watching TikTok videos, and that's going to change up their routine.
Well, it's probably better for them.
Is it?
Sure.
Get off the pot faster?
Yeah.
I
should not say. My wife asked me the other day, what are you looking at when you're in there so long? I'm like, what do you mean, honey? She's like, what are you looking at? I'm like,
video after video after video after video after video.
I was actually playing a video game. It's get a little carried away.
Do your business and get out.
That's
seriously.
the only real private time you have.
So you want to take what should be 2 or 3 minutes into 30?
Well, it just time goes by really fast when you're having fun.
Now that TikTok's going away, you'll be in and out in a hurry.
I don't look at TikTok at all. Don't have a TikTok app. So unless they take Instagram away or my Las Vegas casino slot,
game, that's it.
Then I'm in trouble.
That's really why she wants you out of there. You're costing her money.
It doesn't cost money.
Well, yeah,
no money.
Sure.
It's only for fun.
Yeah, only for fun.
That's it.
Practice.
Sure.
Practice for
exactly right.
Our next trip to Circa Las Vegas, which is far better than San Francisco, which is where the NBA All-Star game is going to be this year. Charles Barkley goes on a great rant last night about not wanting to go to the All-Star game in San Francisco.
Cade Cunningham's had a season.
He had a great and won 24-7-9 with 7 triple doubles. Man, he's been balling.
Oh, he don't make the All-Star team. I'm not going.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that rat-infested place out in San
Oh, stop, man.
Golden State.
Just look at the highlights.
Golden State.
Miles Turner hitting another 3, then a big swat. That was a beautiful
shot.
Then a big finish by Tyrese Halliburton.
His couch chuck, they got rats, cat.
111 to 100. La 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 la. 111 to 100. Indiana with the win.
Y'all are not gonna make me like San Francisco.
23-19. We're not. I know. Just keep it to yourself. 21-20 now.
No.
Thankfully, just one more highlight to get to.
Yeah.
Ernie's trying his best to save Charles is behind there.
Yeah, Charles don't give a damn.
He doesn't care.
He'll go and have a great time. You wonder how many Spurs are going to be in San Francisco for the All-Star game. We had a chance yesterday. You know, sometimes a big fish will just jump into the boat. And that happened for us yesterday with Manu Ginobili live with us out at the King of Paddle. Although we didn't know he was going to be there. He didn't know we were going to be there. He was just there playing paddleball. And came over and jumped on with us at the end of it, or after his game was over. You know, he competes and does media. It had to feel good for him to be able to come on with us in that respect. And what he had to say about the Spurs was fascinating. We'll dive into that coming up here on the Blitz, live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All of the football happening this weekend. Have you made your plans where you're going to go and enjoy it all? Well, I've got a suggestion, and it is a good one. The Golf Club of Texas. You need to head out there. It should be your football watching headquarters. It is a great place to go and enjoy NFL football, and then Monday night to enjoy the national championship game as well. Look, the Tin Cup restaurant has some of the best food around. It is incredible. They always have specials during football games, not only for food, but for drinks as well. Gather up your friends, gather up your family, head down to the Golf Club of Texas and check out some football. And hey, tomorrow's the weather's supposed to be fairly decent. Golf weather. That's right. We get it in here in San Antonio and South Texas whenever we can. So make your tee times now and make them early. Head out, play some golf, and then stick around and watch some football. The best way to do that is go to golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. That's where the best rates are always online. The Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is. Briggs Ranch Road, right there off Highway 90. Dinner at the Tin Cup, around with your buddies, or your next tournament. Again, golfclubtexas.com is where you're going to find the best rates. Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Rise and hot! South Texas, home of the College Football Playoff National Championship, is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. After 10 games that started back on December 20th, only one is left. Number 7 Notre Dame versus the highly favored number 8 seed Ohio State. The College Football Playoff National Championship, Monday at 5:30. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota, The Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue on South Texas' first FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm Manny Jr. from Rock's Discount Vitamins. If you're looking to build muscle, strength, and boost athletic performance, check out our huge selection of anabolic pro hormones. These powerful supplements provide your body with essential nutrients for muscle growth, faster recovery, fat loss, and even improved bone health and libido. Visit one of our 12 San Antonio locations or go online at rocksdiscountvitamins.com to learn more. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support. rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin.
Terrific. Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9047. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Now at North Park Chevrolet, buy a new 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, posted at $34,999. Lease for $370 a month with zero down. Get 3.9% financing for 75 months on new 2025 Silverado Crew Cab Texas editions. And save $10,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado heavy duty trucks. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. We are here till 6 o'clock. Everybody that comes in and buys a pizza today, whatever size, whatever you're getting, doesn't matter. You're going to get a free pizza on your next visit.
That's awesome. That's a fantastic deal. Excuse me. Fantastic deal. Come out here and the churros. Delicious.
Yep, everybody gets free churros today.
And the beer's cold. I can't talk anymore.
You can't talk? Too many churros?
Maybe so. I don't know what it is.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Still a little excited about yesterday's surprise visit with Manu.
Very excited about, and a little bit upset. Renee G on our YouTube said the morning cuddle boys were making fun of Manu this morning.
They were making fun of Manu?
Of Manu.
Wow.
Now, why would they do that?
Well, it's A.J. Hoffman.
Well,
I mean.
You know what's funny about that? They said they were mocking him playing pickleball. Renee says he mentioned that it was paddleball, but they still kept saying pickleball. Can you imagine Rob or A.J., either one of those guys, lasting 2 minutes playing paddleball?
No.
Or
us, for that matter.
Well, exactly.
Especially the way Manu was playing. Pickleball is one thing. I saw Rob Thompson on the video of us on Instagram at SA Sports Star comment on your whiff.
He did.
Yeah. None of those boys actually commented on your nipples in that photo with Manu Ginobili. I mean, you were certainly excited to see
It was cold
Manu.
in there. It was really cold.
Dude,
I don't know what happened. I looked at that picture too, and I went, damn.
You know, I didn't notice until somebody brought up the idea of your excitement level in the comments, and then I realized, dude, you could cut glass with those things.
I'm telling you, I poked somebody's eye out with those things.
Manu was, you were excited to see Manu. He was there, and again, that was very impromptu, very cool of Manu to jump on with us, catch up with him on life in retirement, because the fact that he still lives here is one thing, and you get the Manu sightings every now and then, but we don't hear a lot from Manu very often, which, I mean, these guys are in retirement enjoying life, but that is Spurs royalty. And so it was great to catch up with him about life, but his thoughts on the Spurs, this current Spurs team, I thought very interesting, because he is working with those guys to a degree, but also, been there, done that. And we talked about what advice he would give this group for those lapses they seem to have in the second half, like the other night against Memphis.
I mean, you can give all the advice you want.
is just a process, and you got to mature. You got to be there. You're going to make those mistakes. And whenever we make the playoffs again, we're going to make silly mistakes and we're going to be frustrated, but it is what it is. There's nothing that can accelerate time, and it's painful to watch, like, early in the third quarter yesterday, but it takes time. We did it too, many times early on, and then we started to mature and understand, and those type of experience help you next time you're in the same situation to remember and not to want to make the same mistakes. So it sucks, but it's part of the process, and we're still a young team. And the fact that we have players like CP and Harrison will, help us make less mistakes. Like, the fourth quarter against the Lakers, which, they've been there, they've done that, and we rely on them. So it's part of the process, as I said, and being at 500 now, I think it's a good record. Sometimes you always feel like you could have won 4 or 5 more games, but I think we're in a good spot, and we are showing great development. We are thrilled with Steph, with Steph Castle is doing on the court. Of course, Victor and Devin's being healthy. Devin being healthy again. So I think we're in a great situation.
And I like what he had to say, but the problem is, and even Manu's got to be a little bit worried about the collapses in the second half, and in particular the fourth quarter that this team has experienced this season thus far. I mean, it's just been it's been a pattern. It's almost been a routine. So it's not good. Somebody like a Manu Ginobili, a Tony Parker, a Tim Duncan, you tell these guys, I mean, you got to have that killer instinct. And I think, to me, that's what they lack. And it's all of them. It's all of them, including Victor Wembanyama. I think you've got to have that killer instinct, and I just don't think this team has it just yet.
Well, and the question is, you can tell them you have to have it, but does it work that way? Do you just have to have it?
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like the incredible ability. Manu was that player that gave us wow moments every game, especially very early in his career, and then we kind of got used to it. But Manu did things every game. You're like, how in the hell did that happen? And you asked him, I mean, we know what you were like, Manu, but did you ever think you would see anything like Wemby?
The NBA is amazing. Whenever you think you've seen it all, there's something else. I remember when Blake Griffin came to the league, that he was doing things that we never seen. When LeBron came, when Durant came, and then you see somebody like Victor, or you see Ja Morant doing what he's doing. It's so much talent, and so many kids want to play in the NBA, and they work their butts off to make it. And we are able to see things like that. So watching Victor play and grow and develop is such a privilege, and it's so much fun. So we are thrilled to have him.
Yeah, I think it is interesting, and that's the first thing that comes to mind when everybody talks about the alien that Wemby is. I mean, Manu Ginobili was the original. I mean, he would just do things that you go, holy cow, how did he do that? And the guy came out of nowhere. I mean, Wemby was a prospect, and everybody knew about him. Nobody knew how to pronounce Manu's last name for a long time. And this guy was a hidden gem that Greg Popovich and company pulled out and found. And, boy, aren't we glad that they did.
Yeah, from second rounder to Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And Wemby living up to expectation, obviously. But Manu talked about his growth and development, where it's started as a rookie, where it is now, and where he thinks it could ultimately end up.
He was 19.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 19-year-old kid last year, and he was already amazing, scoring 21 and 11 in the NBA. Are you kidding me? So we're gonna see growth, even if he doesn't even go to the gym, because you grow up and you mature and you get bigger and you start understanding, and you see patterns, mistakes that you made, or things that went well. And he's going to grow regardless of what we do. So it's a thrill. And again, a privilege to have him and to see him develop. And it's so exciting. I mean, every year we're going to start seeing more and more. So, he's a 20-year-old kid. 21.
Yeah, 21.
21. He can get a beer now.
He's legal.
He's legal.
He is definitely legal. Look, I mean, Manu knows better than I do, but certainly you just look at Wemby and you know that I don't think we've even scratched the surface as to what this young man is going to be able to do. And Manu brought it up yesterday where he's going to get bigger. He's going to get, he's going to get the training that NBA players get, and it's only going to make him much better. Can you imagine this dude at 25? How good he is going to be just 4 short years from now. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be incredible.
I don't know if the body will look quite the same, but, think about what Giannis was like when he got to the league and what he has turned into. You could see something similar there with Wemby. The entire interview with Manu Ginobili in the audio vault at sasportstar.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. You can go listen to it there. The links are at the website, sasportstar.com, or on all of our social channels. You can also watch the video on our YouTube channel. And if you're on our YouTube channel, you can always comment there. Spring World says, Joe, you came to my school today.
I did. Now, I'm not sure who Spring World is, but you must have been one of the 4 classes of 4th graders that I had the honor of talking to today. So, Spring World, thank you for watching. I invited them all to watch, and Spring World took my advice. So, Spring World, you get an A for the day.
You got at least one to take your advice that we know of.
At least one, yes.
That you know of. And again, when we, that's what it is, because we do offer good advice and recommendations.
Yes.
That is what we do here.
Absolutely, we do. Kind of like Stevens Roofing.
Yes.
That's good advice. If you need roofing work, there is no better company to call than Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, best in the business. I know that because they've been in business for so long, and you don't stay in business anywhere if you're not doing it right, as long as Stevens Roofing has been in business. And they can do just about anything. Well, everything when it comes to roofing, whether it's a commercial project, certainly residential projects. You want a metal roof on your home, Stevens Roofing can do that as well. This is important. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio, and estimates, well, they're always free. All you have to do is pick up the phone and give them a call, 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and everybody else on the planet, you want to save a little bit of money, and you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing has you covered there as well. Solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often increase the value of your home, and this is important because we got a cold snap coming in. There are even options to keep the lights on when the grid goes down. Good advice. Talk to them, because they've got a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the playoffs are set. The finals are in place. We'll look at what's coming in the NFL.
And the championship game of college football will be played. We'll discuss the matchup, see who we think's taking home the big trophy. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day, because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for University Housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? Hims can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
It is the Blitz here on at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix out at Round Table Pizza, 281 in Stone Oak Parkway. We're here till 6 o'clock, so as you get ready to get off work, it's 3:40 now. Head out this way. Start your happy hour. Get some pizza. Buy a pizza, any pizza. You're going to get a free pizza coupon for your next visit, which is cool. You could register to win pizza for a year for free. They've got beer here, and I keep seeing them pour beer over there. Somebody should have let A.J. Hoffman know they have Carbach here.
Yeah, they do.
So that would make him happy. So, come hang out with us here. 281 and Stone Oak Parkway is where Round Table Pizza is. Put it in your phone, and it will bring you right here.
Yeah, it's really easy to get to. It's not hard at all. Come see us out here. We'd love to have you start your Friday with us. We can start our Friday with you and just have a good time. So much going on, so much to talk about, and it's just always nice when we got some folks here with a little audience.
Absolutely. That's
a live audience that you can see, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did that make sense in your mind?
Well, we've got an audience right here driving around San Antonio. You can't see them. We got an audience here on YouTube. You can't see them. So I'm just saying it's kind of nice to put a face with a name here. Like Spring World at Bolt Elementary School today. I don't know which one Spring World is.
Really?
No.
You think that's a real name?
Well, no, I don't. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not sure.
So,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not really sure.
Well, you should be.
Well, look, I mean, one of the things that, let's see, there's 2 TVs there, 2 TVs there, 2 TVs there, TV over yonder. Games this weekend, go watch them.
Absolutely.
You got 4 big playoff games. coming up this weekend. All day Saturday, all day Sunday, a couple of really good games in the divisional round. And quite honestly, Sunday is the day where you get over and put some ribs on is what I'm thinking, or maybe a tri-tip, because it's going to be one of those days where, one, football is going to be too good to mess around. So you want stuff that, get up, throw it on the smoker, have it ready before kickoff, and then you just eat and graze the rest of the day.
Well, and the good news is Saturday, the game doesn't start till 3 o'clock or 3:30.
Yeah, the Texans time slot.
Yeah, and then I think Sunday not till, 1:30, something like that. So you got plenty of time to get all that stuff taken care of before kickoff. And Sunday looks like and who knows, it could be proven all wrong, and those games on Saturday could be fantastic, but Sunday looks like the better matchups as far as closer games.
Well, and that's it. And again, just going with the Vegas lines, the line on the Texans Chiefs game, same with the Commanders and Lions. You just got some interesting lines. I'm looking at some, they're a couple days old from Circus. I don't know how much they have changed. You've got the current lines because like the Texans Chiefs, well, the Texans cover. Yeah, the Chiefs haven't blown a lot of people out this year. That's not what they do. Weather is going to suck. This one, screams Texans cover, but take the under because the line is big enough to where, Kansas City can win by a touchdown and still not cover the spread.
9.5 point spread is what I've got it at right now. Kansas City is favored in that game. The only game that's not going to be affected by the cold is the Detroit-Washington game, because obviously it's inside a dome. That number's been fluctuating, Minix. It will. I think it started at 9. It's been up as high as 10 that I've seen it. Now, at this moment in time, it's at 9.5. Detroit is favored. And I tell you what, Washington has become the sexy pick. It really has. They've become the sexy pick. A lot of people think Washington might give Detroit a hard time.
Well, I think, do you trust the Lions defense? No, especially because of injuries. And Washington wins a lot of games close. And if it's close late, they could win that thing on the final play. That is what they do. But when you look at that 55.5, that one screams take the over. Because,
absolutely.
Well, but again, you realize 55 in a playoff game, but again, perfect weather. Weather's not going to be a factor because, it's inside, so you've got the fast track. You could question really both defenses there, but 55.5.
I love it. I think Detroit scores 30 plus themselves.
But do they give up, close to 30 in that game? I mean, that's, that is such a crazy, like I look at that one, I want to say Lions and take the over, but I don't know, man, if I could do that because, 52, maybe. If it were 52, yes. 55.5. Do you really think it's going to be, 31-28 to, 35 to 27, something along those lines?
Well, I just don't think Washington can keep up with Detroit. I think they'll be able to score some points, and I think but I don't think they'll be able to keep up. And I think Detroit's going to be able to drive and move the football against that Washington defense at will. Depends on the game plan for Detroit. Is it going to be more of a running game because Montgomery is scheduled to be back, so they're going to have both Thunder and Lightning back for this ball game. So I tell you, it's going to be interesting. But no, Detroit's offense is so talented, so many weapons. They're going to put a lot of points up on the board, and that's the reason I like Detroit in this game. I just don't think Washington can keep up.
Well, and you look at between Gibbs and Montgomery, the Lions could just control the clock and keep Jaden Daniels on the sideline.
They could,
and you go from there. It's can Washington keep it close? You look at Rams and Eagles. Eagles are favored by 6, 43.5 for the over/under. I really, really like the Rams in this game, but with the weather, go with the better running back, and that's Saquon Barkley.
Well, and they're predicting snow in Philly during that game, and so it's going to be a messy game. Definitely. I mean, there's no question. I think Philly's got the better running back in just about every matchup, unless they meet Baltimore in the Super Bowl, and then it's an even swap. But that's going to be an interesting game. I like L.A. just simply because I think they've got their pieces together. But, I'm reading an article earlier today, Jason, that Puka Nakua's never played in a snow game. It's never snowed. Cooper Kupp said he's played in cold weather, but never in a snow game. Will that have an effect? And, Matthew Stafford's just an old wily veteran. I don't think it matters to him at all. The difference in that game is going to be, can the Rams defensive line and that super rookie Jared Verse put some heat on Jalen Hurts? And I think they're going to be able to do that.
And if they do, they'll have a chance. But again, you look at the run game with Saquon. What's so weird is you're prisoner of the moment and the last thing that we saw. If the Rams come out and play the Eagles like they did last week against Minnesota, and the Eagles come out and play like they did last week against the Packers, and they weren't good last week against Green Bay, and I think fortunate that Green Bay also came out and wasn't very good. But when you look at that and you think about what you've seen from the Eagles this year, what you've seen from the Packers this year, were both teams looking that sloppy because of who they were playing. Because, you could say the Eagles are lucky that Green Bay laid an egg too, but did they? How much of that was cause and effect by how well both teams were playing defensively? But Jordan Love wasn't good last week, but then again, neither was Jalen Hurts. Which quarterback do I trust more? I trust Matt Stafford. Which coach do I trust more? Certainly, that's McVay over Nick Sirianni. Yep. Although you look at Nick Sirianni's record and, I don't know if he gets near enough credit as he probably should. But at the same time, I just trust McVay better. And so what is your game plan going to be? And then you factor in the weather. This one is going to be, like I said, I want the Rams. I'll be rooting for the Rams. But my gut is telling me take the Eagles.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Well, look, it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of points scored, and that favors the team that's getting points. I'm going to go Rams all day long on that game. That line, by the way, hasn't changed all week. Started at 6, and it has not moved at all. And it's even money on both sides or just everybody staying away from it. Either way, that line has not moved.
Well, and then you get Baltimore and Buffalo. That is the game that we're all waiting for.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's interesting. The Ravens on the road, a 1-point favorite. It's basically a pick 'em. The over-under is 51.5. And part of me feels like, especially with the weather in Buffalo, that might be high. And again, go with the better. You got these two great quarterbacks, but you go with the better running back in this case.
Well, that's certainly Derrick Henry, but look, James Cook has been playing well. He's been running the football well, so I'm not sure that that's necessarily a game changer, although Derrick Henry has been superhuman, there's no doubt. That line keeps fluctuating. I've seen it at 1 where it is now. Yesterday it was at Pick'em. So people are going back and forth on this game, and I think that obviously that is the marquee matchup of the weekend. There's no question about it. And again, boy, feel sorry for whoever loses that football game because that quarterback is going to have to listen to how you can't win in the playoffs for a year.
Yep.
Until it comes around again and they get another opportunity.
And you look at the Ravens, and on the road, can they knock off Buffalo? That becomes the question. Lamar has more weapons around him, but he's dealing with some receiver injuries right now.
Yeah, Flowers didn't practice again today.
And that could be big when it comes to what they do. Derrick Henry, as you know, running, especially in the third quarter, and then you get into the fourth quarter. I know Cook is there. Both quarterbacks have the ability to run. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more design run possibilities with Lamar. Baltimore was my Super Bowl pick at the beginning of the year. I don't know that I could waver off of that at this point. But, seeing the path that they have to go, because after they beat Buffalo, then they've got to go to Kansas City.
Oh, my gosh.
And so, but I do like the Ravens in that one. But part of that, too, is that was my preseason Super Bowl pick. I don't want to waver off of that.
Did you see Shelton raise his head over here? He's wearing a Houston Texans hat. Are you sure Baltimore's not going to be playing at home against the Texans?
I'm pretty sure.
You're pretty sure?
I mean, yes. I mean, even he's pretty sure.
He's pretty sure.
He even said earlier he's got to wear it today because it's the last weekday he gets to wear it until August. I mean, those
he's a realist, huh?
Yes, those were he's playing with house money this weekend. He thought he was going to have this Saturday free going into last week's game.
Yeah,
I mean, he had this whole day planned. He was going to take Josie the dog out to the park and let her run and do all these things because his football season was over and they won the game. And he was complaining earlier how much that win last week ruined his weekend plans for this week.
Dude, can you see Greg Shelton standing out of the dog park letting Josie run around?
Yes.
You do that, actually?
He does it all the time.
Wow.
He gets out of the house, his typical off-season weekend. Clearly, you don't pay attention to his Facebook page. He gets up early, walks on the Riverwalk, and takes photos. He goes down to the missions and takes photos.
Wow. I didn't know Shelton had such a soft side.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a photographer. He doesn't like photographing people because he doesn't like them. But buildings and nature, if he could be out and away from people, and that's why he has Josie, because everybody will talk to the dog. Nobody actually wants to talk to Greg, and that's just the way he likes it.
Well, Greg, he doesn't want to talk to anybody anyway.
Yes.
So he's happy with that. That's not an issue.
Yeah, he lets the dog go be social,
I'm
so
learning
he doesn't
more
have to.
about Shelton than I ever probably wanted to, but I had no idea, Greg. I'm going to have to start, checking in on your Facebook page. Are we friends?
Probably not. Probably not. He only lets a select few people.
I didn't
How
know.
I made the cut, I have no idea.
Well, I haven't asked to be invited, so I didn't know.
You too could send a friend request.
I didn't know that Shelton had a Facebook page.
It doesn't come up on your suggested friends?
It does not. No. I got a lot of people on there, and I can't do it. I got to delete some old folks out of there.
You could probably get away with doing that.
You could probably do that.
Get rid of somebody you don't know, and add somebody that you don't really care to know, but you do.
It just seems so mean, right? To just zap people off of there.
They won't notice.
They won't know.
They won't.
It doesn't pop up on their screen like, "Hey, Reinagel doesn't like you anymore."
No,
he just whacked you.
I haven't done this in a long time because But I used to on the birthday list. If I didn't know you, happy birthday if I unfriended you.
See, but you're a cold-hearted dude, man. I'm not.
Well,
I'm a softie.
No, you're just lazy. Let's be honest.
No, I'm not. I mean, because there are people that I'd like to add as friends, and you go and you add them and say, well, your limit's there.
Limit there. That's how you control your limit, especially if there's somebody there that you want to add. You take somebody that you've never interacted with, or, you look at it and they don't even have a profile picture anymore, and delete, unfriend, and add in Greg Shelton. Everybody should go find Greg Shelton on Facebook and send him a friend request. Because he needs friends.
Well, and he probably can add everybody.
He would.
He doesn't have that issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no problem.
He would love to add you.
Question for
as
you.
a friend, yes.
And this is, and J-Rod has posted something on our YouTube page saying the Texans need the Bills to win, only path to the big show. Why do the Bills not get any respect? They're not getting any respect from Las Vegas, playing at home and being the underdog. And now J-Rod's not giving them any respect, saying, hey, the Texans will no problem with the Bills.
I would say, well, this is a guy that remembers his Christmas Day nightmare with Baltimore destroying the Texans in Houston. But if the Texans were to upset Kansas City this weekend, and it would be an upset, and, you remember this year they beat Buffalo in Houston. They got destroyed by Baltimore in Houston. Now, that was one of the worst games that the Texans played, and some coaching malpractice in that game by the Bills. But if the Bills were to win and the Texans were to win, the Bills would be massive favorites at home against Houston in the AFC Championship
There's no
game.
question about it. And I get Joshua Jimenez saying because the Texans beat them already. Look, regular season wins are nothing when the postseason comes around. You can't judge what happened in the regular season when you get into the playoffs. You just can't. That game was in Houston. If Houston has to play them again, that game's going to be in Buffalo, and it's a whole different ball game. So you can't judge that, Joshua. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to take your hope away from you, my friend. I know you're a diehard Texans fan. I get it. but that means absolutely nothing that they beat them at NRG during the regular season.
But it gives you hope.
Well,
and that's all you can have at this point. It gives you hope.
I don't want to take his hope away. He's a nice guy. I'm just saying.
Is he?
Yeah, well, I think he is. But sometimes I have to do it. It's called tough love, Joshua. Tough love, my friend. That win means absolutely nothing in the scheme of things.
It is the Blitz live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 Stone Oak Parkway. We're here till 6. You think about all 4 of those playoff games. You can listen to all of them here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. It's going to be a great, great football weekend. More coming up here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Ricky, would you like to rap at the Testicle Festival? Can you give me a little rap?
You want me to spit a rap?
Yeah, I want you to spit a rap.
About balls? Yo, Testicle Festival. It's like an extraterrestrial. Widen my eyes when I see them calf fries.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
70,000 people are here, and Bob Dylan is the reason for it.
Inspired by the true story.
If anyone is going to hold your attention on a stage, it's kind of be a freak.
Are you a freak?
Hope so.
And starring Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan. He defied everyone.
Turn it down! Play loud!
To change everything.
Make some noise, Big D.
Timothée Chalamet, Edward Norton, Elle Fanning, Monica Barbaro, a complete unknown, now playing only in theaters. Rated R, under 17 and admitted without parent.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Manny Jr. from Rock's Discount Vitamins. If you're looking to build muscle, strength, and boost athletic performance, check out our huge selection of anabolic pro-hormones. These powerful supplements provide your body with essential nutrients for muscle growth, faster recovery, fat loss, and even improved bone health and libido. Visit one of our 12 San Antonio locations or go online at rocksdiscountvitamins.com to learn more. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support. rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions? Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse
Osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I've got huge news for you. WWE Monday Night Raw is live every week on Netflix. Live drama, live heroes, live action, featuring some of the biggest names in WWE, such as John Cena, undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Bianca Belair. There's never been a better time to step into the ring and stream WWE Raw. WWE Monday Night Raw is now on Netflix.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs back in action tonight, looking for a little payback on the Memphis Grizzlies, taking them on for the second straight game inside the Frost Bank Center. Tip-off is set for 8:30. Washington OC Cliff Kingsbury says he's going to wait until the end of the season before he interviews with any teams that are interested. That's according to ProFootballTalk.com. And Texas Longhorns Trey Moore says he will return for the 2025 season.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. SynergenicsHealth.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On a football Friday, live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. Great spot, good pizza, cold beer. Great way to get your Friday started.
Without a doubt, and then have some churros, as Charles would say, afterwards, and because they're delicious as well. So great place to come, great place to start your Friday, kick off your weekend here at Round Table Pizza. This is a great place. It really is a great place.
And everybody gets free churros.
Free churros.
Everybody that comes in and orders a pizza today will get a free pizza for their next visit.
Right.
And somebody's going to win free pizza for a year between now and 6 o'clock. They've got a raffle at the register, and you could end up getting free pizza for a year from Round Table Pizza.
That's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, it is.
A pizza for a year. That'd be awesome.
Pizza for a year. Now, they've got sandwiches here and wings, and they brought some to the radio station earlier this week. And they have a salad bar here, a good-looking salad bar. I will say that honestly because, I don't mix in a salad very often. Now, I've known Greg Shelton. How long have you worked at the station? 15 and a half years. Right. So I've known Greg Shelton for a long time, and we do a lot of events like this together where there's food involved. I've never in my life seen Greg Shelton get a salad anywhere.
Well, he's a pro at it because I saw it before he dove into it, and he makes it like he was about to take a picture of it. I mean, it was perfectly layered out. He had a couple of hard-boiled eggs on top, and
he had everything but lettuce on that salad.
I mean, I'm telling you, it looked like a picture. It was fantastic.
But again, you didn't see a lot of lettuce.
No.
I mean, very small base. Like if it were a structural a foundation, the structure would have failed, right? Because there wasn't a lot of lettuce there. But in my life, I never thought I would see Greg Shelton at a salad bar. And again, he's the photo of this is what a salad bar guy looks like, and that ain't it.
We got a great picture of it. Did you send that to Ryan?
Yeah, but it's Friday. He'll figure something out next Tuesday.
I'm just saying.
I'm surprised that hasn't made the @SA Sports Star Instagram yet.
Yeah, we need to get that up on Instagram so
Ryan
everybody can see the precise precision that Shelton had while putting the salad together.
Good looking salad. It makes me almost think that I wanted to mix in a salad.
You wanted one.
Well,
you did. You just knew that Shelton and I would make fun of you the rest of the day. Little peer pressure.
Every now and then I'll mix in a salad.
Peer pressure.
Every now and then I'd mix in a salad. Generally, I'm forced to. But there are some places where I do like their salads. And this looks like one of those places it would be. But, if I've got my choice, do I want to fill up on salad or pizza? I'm going pizza every time.
Well, there's no doubt. You know what I'm a sucker for that they have here? The claw games. Where you pick up the little stuffed animal. I think I spent about $10 a minute ago trying to get one of those things out of there and never did.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, in here I thought you were in the bathroom watching TikTok videos.
No, I was over there.
You were over there trying to win a free prize?
Right over there trying a free prize. I got to pay for it.
Well,
paid for it and had about 4 shots at this one little dog. Didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
No, and I had it. It was coming up and coming up. It's like somebody reached up from underneath all the rest and pulled it back down. Yeah, I think there's a gremlin in there.
You think?
I think there is.
Here, and we thought you were over there watching videos.
No, I was doing something productive.
You were gone for a long time. Sounds very productive.
Dude,
you
I
came
was
back
standing
without
right
a prize.
there.
Well, it's not like I'm watching for you to come out of the men's room.
And $10 lighter.
And $10 lighter. Well, how many cracks at that thing did you have? How much is it to work the claw?
I don't know. I think it's $1 for 2 tries or something like that.
So you had that many cracks at it and still came up empty?
Exactly right.
I mean, like Texas Longhorns on the goal line. I mean, let's pitch it back and lose 7 yards.
Exactly right. There was a gremlin underneath there pulling it down. I had it.
Yeah.
Now, see, some kids just showed up here at Round Table Pizza, and
Squirrel.
They're hearing me talk about it, and they're going to want to talk their parents into giving them some cash to go use the crane machine.
Well, Dad just got a pitcher of beer. Then those kids can go play on that game all they want.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. Here you go.
That's a vet move right there.
Yeah, here you go. I got a pitcher of beer and some pizza coming. You guys go play Miss Pac-Man and try to win a free stuffed animal.
Yeah, here's a 20. Y'all go over there, kids.
Yeah.
That's a vet move.
Well, I mean, and again, you have 5 kids.
Yes.
You know what that's like.
I did the same thing.
Absolutely.
Even at a young age, money is a good thing.
Yes.
Here, kids, go play.
Yeah, that's it. I got a pitcher of beer. Go entertain yourself.
That's exactly right.
Exactly how it is. Man, you think about these NFL games this week and the next 3 days, really, with all the football that we have, with the national championship game coming up on Monday. And reminder, Monday, we're going to be live at the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road, getting you ready for Notre Dame and Ohio State. Spurs in action tonight. You've got the 4 playoff games this weekend. You want a chance to win some money while watching those games? Go download the Underdog Fantasy app and be like me and 5 million other happy players playing the Pick'em game at Underdog. It is the best place to play Pick'em, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on predicted stats. So, yards, rebounds, assists with Wemby. Always look at the blocks with Wemby, especially with the streak that he has been on right now. You can mix match your NFL and NBA and college and create your own entries, your own experiences there. Every dog deserves a second chance, and with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes you to lose, which those Underdog Rescues have saved me a couple of times this year. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the Underdog app, sign up, use my promo code STAR and deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, use promo code STAR when you sign up at Underdog.
Rising on! South Texas, home of the college football playoff national championship, is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. After 10 games that started back on December 20th, only one is left. Number 7 Notre Dame versus the highly favored number 8 seed Ohio State. The college football playoff national championship, Monday at 5:30. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue on South Texas' first FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star here. Have you played Pick 6 from DraftKings? The playoffs are here and time is running out. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Just select 2 or more players, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Texas, Missouri, California, Georgia, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promo.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Place $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Make it your New Year's resolution to drink better beer. Hopadillo, Love Street, Crawford Bach. There's something for everyone in Carbach's lineup. They're all over the city. You can get it in H-E-B and all your liquor stores. But at the bars and restaurants, always make sure to ask for a Carbach.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Joe here. Join us at Round Table Pizza Stone Oak this afternoon from 2 to 6. They've got unbeatable pizza specials, happy hour deals, and the perfect setup to catch all the action. Bring the crew and grab a slice. See you at Round Table Pizza in Stone Oak.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
George gets justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. Come hang out with us. Get your weekend started. They've got beer. They've got pizza. They got wings. They got sandwiches. They've got beer. Did I mention they have beer?
That you did mention that, yes, but you can mention it again.
They have beer.
They have beer. They have churros.
Yeah, and everybody gets free churros. Everybody that comes in and orders a pizza will get a coupon for a free pizza on their next order.
Wow.
And somebody's going to win pizza for a year between now and 6 o'clock. So if you want free pizza on your next visit or a chance at free pizza for a year, get here before 6, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway, Round Table Pizza.
I want pizza for a year. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Can I register?
Sure.
I think so. Pizza, that sounds fantastic. Pizza for a year.
Well, if it's free, it's for me.
Well, of course.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, free pizza for a year. My weakness, Italian food.
Yeah.
I love Italian food.
Yeah.
Whether it's pizza or spaghetti or lasagna or what, just name something. I mean,
yeah,
Italian.
I got you.
All right.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm a pizza connoisseur. I like going a lot of different pizza places.
Yeah.
And the different styles of good pizza, right?
Absolutely.
Good
yeah.
pizza being the key. And this is in that category.
No question.
The double pepperoni that we had today, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, what they do different here, which I think is cool, the toppings go all the way to the edge.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no little crust handle, right? I mean, you're handling toppings. It's really cool.
That was a very odd description.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, it comes all the way out, so there's no crust handle there.
Crust handle.
You still have a crust handle, but you had pepperonis on the crust handle.
In other words, they're loaded. They don't skimp.
They don't skimp. No, not at all.
Like some places where you order pepperoni and there's like one on each slice.
Exactly.
It's basically a cheese pizza with a pepperoni.
And that's the ones I don't go back to.
Exactly.
You don't have that problem here. Not at all.
You definitely don't. Ken, come hang out with us here at Round Table Pizza. So it's Friday. 2 full work weeks since the Cowboys season ended. Basically an entire work week since Mike McCarthy was not coming back as head coach. Now, I've got to believe that Jerry and the Cowboys are getting more done than what we realize in their search for a head coach. I just want to believe that. But then again, it is the Cowboys. And well, it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's the
right?
Cowboys, yes.
But Jerry told us Tay was in the barn. and all right. And so whether that meant he knew he was moving on, every good general manager, hell, every general manager, you don't have to be good. You always have a short list of next. You know, every athletic director has a short list of who they think is going to be next. If Jeff Traylor were to walk in tomorrow and say, you know, Lisa Campos, you can't get me enough money on this revenue split. I got an offer over here. I'm out. She's got to have somebody ready to go, at least somebody in mind. Everybody has that list of who is next. So Mike McCarthy's moving on. I figure Jerry probably has a list of who's next. Diana Rossini today on her Scoop City podcast. Now, Diana working with The Athletic says maybe not because, according to her, what she's hearing, Jerry thought Mike was coming back.
Jerry was not expecting Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys to go separate ways. The plan was to bring him back. They did not have a plan in place here. So a lot of this was scrambling, from what I can gather, of just, I need to figure out how to fix this quickly. Wow. And so now we're seeing, the coaches get called in. Robert Saleh is going to meet with them over the weekend. Leslie Frazier, right? We'll start to see more names. Kellen Moore is going to meet with them on Friday before the divisional round. So he's got his eyes on Kellen Moore. But this Deion factor, I think, is going to weigh over the NFL until they make a decision on who's going to be the next head coach.
Well, of course it is, because that's what Jerry wants. Nobody's talking about any other job except the Dallas job.
Yep.
Nobody. Right? And Jerry loves this thing. But I believe Diana Rossini. I don't think Jerry had a clue. And does he have a list? I have no idea whether he has a list or not. He thought Mike McCarthy would come back for whatever Jerry wanted to give him, and it just didn't work out that way. And so now they're scrambling around, and they're going to try and figure out who's next. Several candidates out there. Who wants to come to Dallas? Who doesn't? This whole Kellen Moore thing, which I know is the safe route. I just nothing about that excites me at all. And I can't imagine any other Cowboy fan that excites.
And again, I've got a video up at SA Sports Star on Instagram at SA Sports Star. Go comment there on what you're looking for. Because in reality, anybody not named Dion Sanders is not exciting, right? But do you want exciting? Do you want sizzle? Do you want the headlines? Do you want the man? Or do you want the best hire for the job? And the idea, Kellen Moore is a safe pick, but he also might be the best pick to work with Dak Prescott. Highest paid player in the NFL, that's got to factor into the decision-making process. But can Kellen Moore be a head coach for the whole team, not just a head coach for the offense, right? And that's, all these head coaches that are offensive geniuses that are play callers also, they're the head coach. They've got to command the respect from the entire room. And when you look at some of the offensive-minded guys that are not as flashy or the bravado or whatever you want to call it, like what you have in Minnesota, you got a strong defensive coordinator. So then you start looking at who else could be on the staff. Where do you go that route? If Robert Saleh, now again, I'd love to see Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator, but if he is a guy that wants to be a head coach, if you go with Kellen Moore, is he going to take the job as a DC?
No.
Right? And if he does, he's there for a year until the next hiring cycle, and then he is off to be a head coach because that's what Robert Saleh wants to be.
Look, I think Saleh did a great job with a very disastrous situation in New York. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. It doesn't have the same sizzle as a Deion, but I'd certainly have a little more hopefulness with a Robert Saleh than I would with a Kellen Moore. I'll tell you that right now. I just think it would be because a guy like Robert Saleh is going to be able to go in and command respect to with everybody. Nothing about Kellen Moore screams, "Oh, we got to watch out for this guy. He's gonna throw down the hammer now." I mean, it's just like, and he pulls out his little, Fisher Price toy.
Oh, geez.
I mean, come on. It's like nothing about Kellen Moore is appealing to me when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and being their next test. Nothing is appealing.
And again, what we don't know is what is he like in a meeting room, right? I mean, because he was a backup, then he became a quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, and he's been an OC in a couple other places. Jory Epstein at Yahoo has a great article up that I don't want to say will change your mind, but maybe give you a different perspective, because he has interviewed for head coaching jobs in the past. And Jory interviewed some that were in on those interviews, and they all spoke very highly of how well organized and how well spoken he was. And all of them said he will be a head coach one day. Why he didn't get those jobs, who knows? Most don't get it their first time through the interview process. The idea that he was in Dallas, but, he went out, he was with the Chargers, now he's with the Eagles. Can he come back with some different experiences and different ideas? And one of the things that none of us really do know, when he was the offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys, did he have the freedom, the ability to incorporate 100% of his offense, or was he incorporating his offense that Mike McCarthy liked, right? And,
sure.
And there's some of that. One of the reasons why he got the job is, Scott Linehan wasn't incorporating some of his ideas as quarterback coach, and they liked Kellen Moore's ideas better. It is interesting. And again, because I think Kellen Moore is the safe pick and he checks all the Jerry boxes, as been with the organization. I know him. He'll be a yes man, although I'd like to think that he would be able to stand up to Jerry if he is going to be the head coach and at least tell him no on some ideas. But anybody not named Deion loses that excitement level. If it were, say, a Cliff Kingsbury, certainly not the same level of excitement that Deion would offer, but brings a little bit more sizzle than Kellen Moore.
There's no doubt. I mean, you can name just about anybody else, but I don't know what it is. Kellen Moore is probably, look, he's going to be a great offensive coordinator. He's a good offensive coordinator now. But maybe that's all he is. I just don't see this guy running a franchise. I just don't. And maybe it's unfair of me to say that, but I just don't see it at all. It just doesn't scream to me as head coach. This is our leader, Kellen Moore.
Well, and again,
welcome to Dallas.
Just think about it. You hire Kellen Moore, and then you draft the Boise State running back Gente because you got two Boise State guys. But at the same time, with a lot of these young coordinators, and again, earlier this week, you said you wanted somebody young and these genius guys. Well, Kellen Moore is that.
I don't know if he's. I wouldn't go genius.
Well,
far.
I mean, there are people that I mean, there's a reason he's doing what he's doing and was destined to do it. But because we know Kellen, and because he was there and got fired, you know, at least in the Cowboy world, there is that. But, you know, at some point, you know, when Sean McVay first got the head coaching job, really, are you ready for this moment? You know, up in Minnesota, all these young guys, Stefanski, I mean, I think all of them have had to face that. And you get a chance to go out and prove it. Most of them fail their first time as a head coach. And that's where we end up with retreads. You know, Pete Carroll would be short term, obviously. He would add some excitement. We know what he can do. He has the resume to prove it. So you want that? All right, you know, you won a Super Bowl. You've done all that. Or these young guys where you think they can, but you just don't know. I mean, and that includes a Ben Johnson. We don't know what he's going to be like as a head coach.
Yeah, you don't. And you don't know what he's going to be like with less talent. And most anywhere he goes, he will have less talent than he's got with the Detroit Lions right now. You don't know. It is all a roll of the dice. Some of these guys work, some of these guys don't. Look, nothing against Kellen Moore.
Really?
No, nothing against him. He's a fine offensive coordinator. And to me, I can't see him being the face of the Dallas Cowboys football team as their head coach. Nothing just screams toughness when you see Kellen Moore.
I mean,
he's such a cute young man.
I mean,
look, he's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to be scared to death of Dallas.
When Wade Phillips was the head coach, did that scream toughness?
Yeah, a hell of a lot more than Kellen Moore.
Did Jason Garrett scream toughness?
Everybody you're going to mention. Yes.
Dave Campo. Chan Gailey.
Dave Campo, yes.
No.
Yes.
No, they were older. But, I mean, did you think – I mean, and again, Jerry Jones is the face of the organization, not the head coach of the team.
Do something different. And by different, I don't mean hiring a 12-year-old. I mean, do something different. Let's hire Deion Sanders. How about that? That would shake things up. He would command respect. He'd stand up to Jerry. All of the things that you want, plus – he looks tough on the sidelines.
Dude, I've got no issue with Deion being the head coach. I would love it, in fact, because, I mean, every week Deion Sanders on the Blitz because he's not doing those early morning interviews.
No.
So, you know, those would end up on our show, which would be fantastic. The idea that you've got a Deion Sanders who then you've got to figure out. Now, the only thing, my question on Deion is then who's he hiring on his staff? You know, the idea of all the buyouts and all that stuff, you know, I don't discount what Shereen Williams has said, that Jerry won't pay buyouts, and he is notoriously cheap in these areas. But Jerry, if Jerry wants something, Jerry will pay for it.
Sure.
And if he can make this happen. So with Deion, who lets his coordinators have the freedom to do their job, then it becomes who's the offensive coordinator that's going to get the most out of Dak Prescott. I would love it to be Deion. Hold these guys accountable. He's that old school mentality. You know, he starts meetings earlier. If it's at 9, he might start the meeting at 8:45. And if you're late, you don't get to come in. I love the accountability that he has shown at the University of Colorado and what he would bring to that locker room. I love all of that. But would Jerry allow somebody else to have that kind of spotlight in that area? That becomes the question. You get a guy like Troy Aikman, loves Deion, but then at the same time says why Deion won't get the job. We'll explain coming up here on the Blitz, live at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
It's those same kids wearing 1919 Aggies championship gear.
Well, that's real.
That's real.
Oh, that's not fake.
That really happened. T-shirts weren't invented in 1919. It was like they had national championship togas.
It was the loincloth. And it really happened.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out. From small degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders, I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a football Friday out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. Bar, got a guy over here with his family, pitcher of beer and some pizza. Kids having fun over there.
It's Friday.
I'll have pizza and beer. And all we have is pizza because we can't have beer until 6. But it will certainly happen.
It will happen, yes.
There's beer and wine going on over there.
Yeah.
They've got this great salad bar that even Greg Shelton dove into, which still surprises me. And they have some games over here. They got those claw games here.
Yeah.
And Reinagel's lost about $20 and still does not have a stuffed toy.
Well, I'm working on it. I'm persistent.
You're persistent.
I'm going to keep at it until I get one of those things.
All right.
I'm telling you, there's an animal underneath there that keeps pulling it off the hook.
So you think it's impossible to actually get a stuffed animal out of that machine?
No, not for most people, but for me it is.
Oh, for you.
Yeah,
because Max over here, his first try, he got an animal.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He did?
Max, show Reinagel the toy that you got. Look at that.
Now, well, I loosened it for him. Obviously.
You loosened it for him?
I obviously loosened it for him.
I asked him how many times. He said first try. One try. Max wouldn't lie to us.
Max, go sit down and eat your pizza. That's awesome. That really, I mean,
that pisses you off. You can say that.
No,
it's like when you're in Vegas in a slot machine and you feed that machine a lot of money and you get up and then the next person goes in and they hit a jackpot at the machine you were on.
Well, all that does is make me more determined now to go over there and get a stuffed animal.
And what are you going to do with the stuffed animal?
That's not the point. I'll give it to Max.
Max already has one.
Well, maybe he wants to. No, he gave it to his sister. Wasn't that nice of him?
Well, he's probably going to go win one for himself.
Well, he might.
Watch, she's going to go over there and win
Max.
her own.
I got you, Max.
Dude, you were so mad that thing kept taking your money and you couldn't. You would get it on the hook and you'd start maneuvering and then it would drop.
It would drop.
Yeah. Max had no problem. One try. One try.
Well, okay. What do you want me to do, Minix? You want to kick me while I'm down? Okay, just kick me while I'm down.
I'm just spewing facts. I'll
be back. I'm not done yet.
You're
I'll
not
be
done.
back. No.
Done.
Not even close.
I don't look around. I don't know if they have an ATM here. You're going to run out of cash.
You don't need an ATM. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
It takes credit cards.
That takes credit cards.
So that's the issue.
Wow. The idea of Deion Sanders becoming the next head coach. Some people think it's serious. Some people think it's just Jerry Jones creating a publicity stunt to draw the headlines because obviously that would be massive. In fact, the idea of who's going to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys is anybody's guess, to the point that DraftKings has stopped taking betting on who will be the next Cowboys head coach. And for DraftKings to say we don't want your money is kind of surprising, but it's just all over the place. Nobody really knows. Now, you're all for Deion because you want the content Cowboys.
Yes.
And I do think Deion could do a good job as the head coach, depending on who his staff is. I like Deion with a big butt there. Who's going to be on the staff?
Really?
One T, not two.
Okay.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Right?
It's about to start singing.
Well, there's a caveat. How about that? I like Deion. Yeah, let me see who the staff is going to be. Troy Aikman. And again, when Troy speaks, you listen because Jerry Jones listens to Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman, a big fan of Deion Sanders.
I wouldn't bet against him. I absolutely would never bet against Deion. I've just seen it too many times, and I've said it when he took the Jackson State job. I was so proud of him for doing that. And it's one thing to coach your kids through Pop Warner, and then you do through middle school and high school, but to really put your reputation out there on the line and take on that Jackson State job, and then to do what he was able to do, and then go to Colorado and on a bigger stage and do what he's done there. He's proven that he's earned the opportunity. So if he lands a job in Dallas, if that ultimately is what happened, or if he goes somewhere else within the NFL or even in the college ranks, he's earned that opportunity. So whether it's a good fit, or I don't know if I'd look at anyone and say it's necessarily a great fit. I just think there's a lot of hurdles, and so it may not be a great fit for anyone. But if Deion were to come on board, I think it'd be fantastic. I think he would relate exceptionally well to the locker room. It's amazing that for someone who's as far removed from having played, the reverence that these current players have for his career and what he was as a player. It's pretty remarkable, and it says a lot for him. So I think he'd be fantastic no matter where he is. And as you guys have heard me say, I'm a big fan, and I would never bet against him.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against him either. And I could say, it's a Jerry Jones move to do something like that. Will he roll the dice with a Deion Sanders, or will he take the safe play with a Kellen Moore? All remains to be seen. Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show today. RJ Ochoa just retweeted this, said that Ben Johnson is not in play in Dallas. Not in play in Dallas, that he will go somewhere else, and Jerry Jones has other ideas. So at least from Adam Schefter's standpoint, don't count on Ben Johnson being the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
And I didn't. And again, because part of Jerry wants a coach that he's familiar with, has some sort of relationship, ties to the Cowboys, all those kind of things. He might end up in Jacksonville. When you start looking at all the different tea leaves and where they're pointing to. But you think about Deion Sanders, and Troy Aikman, don't bet against him. And he would love to see it. Everything that Troy said was that an endorsement for Deion Sanders. But Deion Sanders then has to hire an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, and they're going to call plays. So Troy Aikman in the interview on the Ticket Up in Dallas, it sounds like he's all in on Deion. But he thinks the ideal candidate has to be somebody who calls plays.
I think that in today's league, in a perfect world, I would want a head coach that was calling the plays. Someone like Kyle Shanahan, someone like Sean Payton. Mike McCarthy certainly was that guy. But I would want an offensive guy, and I'd want to be in love with the scheme and the offense that he was running. And then when you get beyond that, he has to be able to be the head coach. And if you've got a great offensive mind, but you don't feel that he would make a great head coach for the entire team, then I think you've got to go in a different direction. But ideally, I'd want a head coach that was calling the plays, because you guys have probably heard me say this over the years, that I think offensive coordinator is the hardest job on the staff, calling plays. Everybody has an opinion. Rarely do you hear people criticize or go after the defensive coordinator on a given call. But every person sitting on the couch, every owner, everybody in the organization, everybody on the team, everyone has an opinion on whether that was a good play call offensively or whether it was not. Let's say, for instance, Dan Campbell in Detroit. He's got Ben Johnson. He's done a great job. When Ben took over as the play caller, that's when really things started to ascend in Detroit, especially offensively. And now he leaves. Well, Dan's got to have a backup plan as far as who's going to replace him. And those guys are hard to find. They're really hard to find. So I would tell you it's easier to find a head coach than it is to find a great offensive coordinator. And that's why I'd want to go with an offensive guy. And for those guys, for those teams like San Francisco, like Denver, that have a play caller and a real head coach that everyone knows is in charge, they've got a real luxury.
Well, they do. They've got a real luxury, but there's only a handful of those people. I mean, there is. And when Aikman was playing, he had a great offensive coordinator, Norv Turner. They worked really well together. There are a lot of teams that have that offensive coordinator. The Detroit Lions have a great offensive coordinator. Dan Campbell lets him do his job. They've got a great defensive coordinator. You can have both in that case. There's just not a lot of head coaches that are out calling plays and being the head coach. It's hard to do. Mike McCarthy was successful at it the first year he did it. This year, not so much. Reasons for that, but not so much.
And there was times in Green Bay he called plays and then he didn't. So it's interesting in what you're looking for, and that's going to be Jerry's question. The idea of Deion changing the culture. How does Jason Witten factor in to this? If Jerry does want Witten on the staff in some sort of role to groom him for potentially a future head coaching job with the team, is Deion going to take that? I kind of feel like Kellen Moore say, whatever you need, boss. You want me to get you another Whataburger? I just, there. And again, Kellen Moore is going to have to deal with that. It feels like he'd just be another puppet. Then you go back into Jerry's history, the Sean Payton story. Bill Parcells is the coach. They had Sean Payton on staff. He loved Sean Payton. Sean Payton got the Saints job. And the idea that I'm not going to let another assistant that I think can be the guy out of the building. That's part of the whole Jason Garrett scenario. And Kellen Moore was that until Mike McCarthy wanted play calling duties and Jerry relented, and now he's got a chance to get him back. I mean, you can make the case for Kellen Moore, but man, you have to sell hard on that as a fan base. Jerry would then have to do that, sell the fan base on why Kellen Moore is the right guy for the job and just not a yes man puppet
for the Cowboys, because that's how we're all going to look at him. He might be the right guy for Dak Prescott. It might be the best hire, but how do you sell that to the fan base?
Well, you don't. I don't think there's any way you're going to sell that to the fan base if that's the case. It would take a genius. If anybody can do it, it would be Jerry, but nobody's going to sell that to the fan base. Nobody wants Kellen Moore here. Nobody, because the when he left, when he was forced out, it's like, he wasn't doing it right. Mike McCarthy spun it that way. How are you going to unspin that? And when I look at Philadelphia, quite frankly, I'm not looking. When I see Philadelphia play and I see Detroit play, I see an offensive coordinator in Detroit who is doing some genius things. When I look at Philadelphia, I don't see anything. I see nothing there other than you hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. Period. That's it.
Well,
I don't see a genius at work in Philadelphia.
Although, I don't argue that. I mean, the tush push.
Exactly.
Which was a play they were running long before Kellen got there.
And they're not going to be able to do that with Prescott.
No, they're not going to do it. And again, though, when you look at the stats, when Kellen Moore has been an offensive coordinator, where his teams have finished in scoring, in yardage, in all of it's always near the top. And you can't take away the resume. Like, if you were to look at those numbers and not know the name attached to it, you would look at it differently. And I've tried. I mean, because I'm resigned. I think Kellen Moore will get the job. I'm not excited about it. So you look at stuff and, all right, what is, just trying to look at it, blindly and objectively, because Lil Kellen Moore, here we go. And, not that Dak has to like the guy, but what's Dak's thoughts on that? Even Troy Aikman did talk about why the quarterback has input. He's certainly not a decision maker. And, Troy said, even I had, conversations, but I certainly didn't make the decision.
Yeah, I had some conversations. I don't really remember exactly if I don't know that I had that much input. But I will say that, and I've said this before, I do think that Jerry values the opinion of the quarterback, and I think that he has always wanted to. He's always wanted the quarterback to be on board with the decisions that are being made. So I would be surprised if Dak isn't involved in some of those conversations. Now, ultimately, will Dak be the one who picks the head coach? No. Was I? No. Was Tony Romo? I don't think so. I doubt it. So, but I do. That's not totally unusual. I think it's fairly common, especially if you're talking about a franchise quarterback, which Dak is, and he's going to be there and he's invested in the organization. So that's part of it.
He's going to ask Dak Prescott. I mean, what does he want? But he asked Dak Prescott volunteered that he wanted to keep Mike McCarthy. That didn't work out. And I'm not saying Jerry got rid of him, because the stories we're hearing now, it sounds like it was more McCarthy than it was Jerry when it comes to this divorce. But look, Dak's not going to make this decision.
No.
But if it's Kellen Moore and Jerry went and say, well, what do you think about bringing him back? I'm sure Jerry would listen to whatever Dak has to say and take that under advisement, and then go from there and hire whoever the heck he wants. It's just a strange situation, Jason. And I get that Kellen Moore's a safe pick. I get that maybe his offense would mesh with Dak better, perhaps. But I don't know. I tell you, of all the candidates that are out there, Kellen Moore's at the bottom of my list. So anybody else that's out there is on top of a Kellen Moore. But if that's the direction Jerry wants to go, we'll see how that works out. I just don't see it working out well.
Well, and again, I look at Kellen Moore's last year in Dallas, 12-5, top 5 offense. Got blown out by Green Bay in the postseason. You know what I mean? I just, or was that his? He got blown out by San Francisco. He got blown out by San Francisco, right? But he was part of those 12-5 offenses. I mean, 2 of the 3 that Mike McCarthy had. I got a little distracted by some breaking news.
I know it. I know it. This is crazy.
According to our friend Robert Price from KBB Television, that jury in the Bill Miller barbecue lawsuit deal, they have awarded that woman $1.89 million after she sued Bill Miller's for serving her dangerously hot barbecue sauce that caused second-degree burns on her leg when she spilled the sauce on herself.
Look, she must have had a hell of a lawyer who's going to get about half of that.
Or more than, yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't get it. I
don't get it.
I don't get it either. Especially, I mean, look, the folks at that Bill Miller were paying for her medical bills. They offered to pay her lost wages, whatever the case. She turned it down and sued them. And a jury found, I guess, that she was. We weren't in there, so we don't know what evidence was presented or how. But just on the face of it, it just seems like. Well, this woman got exactly what she wanted.
$1.89 million. If you're not familiar with this story, woman ordered breakfast tacos with barbecue sauce, which barbecue sauce and breakfast tacos, I don't know. She says that the barbecue sauce was so hot when they gave it to her in that little 4-ounce cup, while she was pouring the barbecue sauce on her tacos while in the parking lot driving, or maybe stopped, she spilled the barbecue sauce on her thigh, and it gave her second-degree burns. According to the Robert Price report with KBB, she went to the Texas Med Clinic. Bill Miller apparently covered that bill. She never went back to another clinic after that, but pain and suffering and lost wages. She still has the same job, and she works in the food service industry. She's 19 and now has $1.89 million. I imagine Bill Miller will appeal, and this will continue to go on. I texted Robert, and he said, yeah, I did not expect this. I'm shocked. Robert tells me on text, I think the jury might have been turned off that Bill Miller never actually formally apologized to her.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, okay. So that's where we're drawing the line on $2 million. Just apologize, it would have been fine.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, it's the most bizarre story.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I couldn't believe it got this far. Now, I don't know what other evidence they saw, obviously. I mean, it's just stunning. So now you're going to get little warning labels on those little 4-ounce cups.
Absolutely.
And again, who puts barbecue sauce on a breakfast taco?
I have no idea, unless it was a brisket taco, which I've ordered from there before.
Sure.
But I've never put barbecue sauce. I like their hot sauce. Their sauce is the best. It's a crazy story, and it's just we're in a litigious society.
We are.
I mean, we are. And so people, want some quick bucks. There you go. It happened. She won. So we'll see where it goes from here. I'm shocked. I'll be honest with you.
And here I'm thinking, all right, well, Bill Miller's probably has better attorneys than this lady.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. And I asked Robert, who was the attorney? And it's not who you think it is. It's not one of those billboard guys. I don't know who this guy is. But goodness.
He's celebrating today, too.
I would imagine he should celebrate with us here at Round Table Pizza, 281 in Stone Oak. Great pizza, salad bar. There's beer. There's wine. Their sandwiches, the wings.
He should buy a round for the house.
He should.
Pizza for everybody.
Absolutely. Well, everybody that comes in and gets pizza today here at Round Table Pizza will get a free pizza on their next visit. So between now and 6 o'clock. And you could register to win free pizza for a year, and everybody gets free churros with their order.
Nice. Those churros are fantastic.
They are.
They are outstanding.
Come hang out with us here at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. We'll talk more about the Cowboys coming up with John Machota from The Athletic. He joins us at 5:15. But let's talk about the playoff games this weekend. What kind of chance are you giving the Texans? We'll dive in coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You think about this weekend, it's a Friday, you have your plans. None of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. Happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Try Roundtable Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Is actually going $1 trillion deeper in debt every 100 days. That's why thousands are turning to Goldco, a top-rated gold company, to diversify their savings with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Right now, not only is Goldco offering a free gold and silver kit, but on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver. Call 855-838-GOLD. That's 855-838-GOLD. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-290-0258. 800-290-0258. 800-290-0258.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now it's our lowest price of the season on our top-selling i8 smart bed. Your best savings, plus free home delivery with any base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Hi, I'm Manny Jr. from Rock's Discount Vitamins. If you're looking to build muscle, strength, and boost athletic performance, check out our huge selection of anabolic pro-hormones. These powerful supplements provide your body with essential nutrients for muscle growth, faster recovery, fat loss, and even improved bone health and libido. Visit one of our 12 San Antonio locations or go online at rocksdiscountvitamins.com to learn more. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support. rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs back at it tonight. They take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Second consecutive time they're doing it inside the Frost Bank Center tonight. Tip-off there is set for 8:30. Cliff Kingsbury, well, he's not going to interview with anybody, he says. He is the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator, but he says he's not going to interview until they're out of the playoff picture. Any team that's interested can interview him at that time.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix out at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. Come hang out with us, get some beer, some pizza. They got wings, sandwiches, salad bar. Even Greg Shelton got into that salad bar earlier.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of people have.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking salad bar. I'm going to tell you what, they got all this stuff in there, right? I mean, you got lettuce, you got spinach, you got hard-boiled eggs, you got cheese, you got, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Everything that makes a great salad in there. Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah, good-looking salad. And again, I've known Greg for a long time, about 15 years. I've never seen the guy eat a salad.
Well, you did today. You made history.
Yeah.
He munched that thing down too. It was like he didn't have a chance.
He did.
No chance at all.
Very, very, very bizarre.
Just saw a tweet from the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
It says, we have completed a virtual interview with Kellen Moore for our head coaching position.
I mean,
and that's all it says.
All right. So the first interview is complete.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the official one of those with Deion Sanders.
Well, we'll see.
Could you imagine if they actually do an official interview with Deion Sanders and where it would go?
Oh my gosh!
And again, Rooney Rule. There will be other interviews.
No, Robert Saleh is supposed to be tomorrow.
Leslie Frazier is in the mix as well. But I am, to a degree, glad that Kellen Moore had the first official interview.
Why?
Because there's the bar. Right? I mean, and this, let's face it. How do I say this respectfully? This tweet was sent out at 5:02. Right?
Right.
Jerry likes to get up early and get things done early. Right? I mean, that interview might have been in nap time for Jerry. And he probably got a good nap out of that. I kid, but get this one out of the way, because if Kellen Moore was the clubhouse favorite, if you will, let's bring a favorite son home, if you will. If you've got Kellen as your bar, and some of these other guys come in and blow Jerry away with their interviews, then this one's kind of forgettable, if you will, right?
Sure.
But he has set the bar. If he were the last one coming in, and there, and Jerry is all right, you're the last one. Like Mike McCarthy and Marvin Lewis were the only two interviews that he did last time, and then it was Marvin, and then it was Mike, and Mike got the job, right?
Sure. Yes.
So
no Rooney Rule was followed there.
No, Marvin was first, and then Mike. So they did the interviews.
Well, you're supposed to have two, according to the Rooney Rule, minority candidates interview.
I think there was one that nobody took seriously.
Maybe so. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, two serious interviews.
Okay.
Two guys with experience. I don't know. I kind of like the idea that Kellen went first. And now Kellen can focus on the playoffs this weekend, because, he does have a game this weekend he's got to get ready for.
He does have a game. Now, Jane Slater is tweeting out that she's hearing the interview was approximately or a little over 2 hours long. Obviously virtually, because you can't come in. They've got a game to play, but a little over 2 hours long. So I would say that, I don't know, if I'm Kellen Moore, I would think that'd be a good sign. It's certainly a long interview. You're talking about 2 hours, a lot of questions asked, a lot of, discussion on what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And all of that kind of stuff. So interesting But yes, it is officially underway. The interview process for the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. How long is this going to take? And will they wait for some of these other coaches to be eliminated from the postseason tournament and interview them? Or does Jerry have his mind made up?
Well, when you think about the one team that everybody expects to be in the Super Bowl is Detroit. And I don't think Aaron Glenn is a real possibility for the Cowboys, right? And same thing with Ben Johnson, where there's a gazillion reports that neither side seem to be interested. So the Cowboys don't have to wait till after the Super Bowl, unless, of course, somehow Philly gets there, and I don't see that happening. Don't want that to happen. But does it surprise you a little bit if, as well as they know Kellen Moore, that an interview with him for this job would be 2 hours? There isn't a get-to-know-you kind of phase here. They already know him. You know, Robert Saleh, I expect that to be a long interview. I don't know what the connections are there. I mean, Kellen might still have some stuff in a desk drawer there that just never got cleaned out. It's not like he's been gone that long. But that also tells me, with the Jory Epstein article in Yahoo about how well he interviewed in the past, how organized he is, that if he's got to give some sort of presentation on how he would do things as a head coach, and obviously he's got a leg up on everybody else because he knows what Jerry is looking for in an interview process and what's going to wow the man and what's going to bore the man.
Sure, absolutely. But I don't know. It does virtually make a difference there. Is it longer in that? Because I'm assuming that Saleh and Leslie Frazier will be in person. Wouldn't they? I would assume that. Maybe it won't be, but neither one of those guys have to wait for anything. And neither one of both of those guys are free to come in and do whatever it is they need to do.
Todd Archer's just tweeted, Robert Saleh on Saturday, Leslie Frazier on Monday, both in person.
In person. Okay. I would assume that, because you'd rather have somebody in person. I would anyway, and so apparently so would the Jones family. So bringing those two gentlemen in and those two interviews right there alone, Jason, satisfy the Rooney Rule.
Yep.
So if that's just a dog and pony show by the Cowboys, or are they serious? I hope so. And if they're not serious about either one of those guys as the head coach, could one of them be considered possibly a defensive coordinator? I don't think Saleh would take it, but maybe a Leslie Frazier would.
It is possible. And let's face it. I mean, if Robert Saleh doesn't get a head coaching job this cycle, then if he wants to coach next year, it would be in a DC role. And, those interviews would start after they name a head coach. So there is some time, and Saleh's going to have, some ideas there. A friend of mine, Brian, just texted me and said, if they did hire Kellen Moore, 1+ is Dak Prescott doesn't have to learn an entirely new offense, because he already knows the majority of Kellen Moore's offense and whatever wrinkles are there. So I would think that would be a plus, because Dak is going to factor in heavily in the decision that Jerry makes, and should, considering he is the highest paid player in the NFL and a franchise quarterback. He's your guy for the next 4 or 5 years. So you have to hire somebody that's going to get the most out of him.
Yeah. Okay. You sell that to anybody that will listen.
And again,
I just say, if that's what Jerry wants to do, fine. I just think, to me, it's time to roll the dice. The hell with a safe move. The hell with it.
Yeah, I'm with you. And again, I want to see one of these tweets from the Cowboys. They have completed an interview with Deion Sanders, right? And if Deion flies in, what is he going to get? Deion is already leveraging this, trying to get more NIL money from Colorado, according to some reports. And, is he going to get those answers? I mean, all the things that you hear college coaches complain about, as much as Deion says he loves Colorado, how many times have we said, a lot of these coaches in college are going to say the hell with this and try to go to the NFL where they don't have to deal with it?
I would think a lot of them will be. I'd much rather go to the NFL and coach there than have to deal with transfer portals and NIL money and boosters and how much money can I raise and all of that stuff. Yes, I'd much rather coach in the NFL if I was a coach at this point in time.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it with John Machota from The Athletic. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, we've got that cold front coming in next Tuesday. We might even have snow. You need your company logo on any kind of gear. Make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing because he's got that winter line on display, and they will be open on Monday. So if you need your company logo on a nice jacket, a coat, a half zip, a hoodie, whatever it is, Sam has it on display. He's got all the big name brands as well: Under Armour, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. And of course, if you need caps, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, no order too small. You need 1, 5, 2 dozen items, 10,000 items. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Rising hot! South Texas, home of the College Football Playoff National Championship, is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. After 10 games that started back on December 20th, only one is left. Number 7 Notre Dame versus the highly favored number 8 seed Ohio State. The College Football Playoff National Championship, Monday at 5:30. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota, The Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue on South Texas' first FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, huh?
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
The current federal government is actually going $1 trillion deeper in debt every 100 days. That's why thousands are turning to Goldco, a top-rated gold company, to diversify their savings with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Right now, not only is Goldco offering a free gold and silver kit, but on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver. Call 855-838-GOLD. That's 855-838-GOLD. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Paramount Plus is your streaming home for the NFL playoffs on CBS. This weekend in the divisional round, presented by Intuit TurboTax, Josh Allen and the Bills host Lamar Jackson and the Ravens for a spot in the AFC Championship. Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way. And that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions. And that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400 or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday afternoon, live out at Round Table Pizza, 281 in Stone Oak Parkway. Pizza, wings, great sandwiches, beer, salad bar, beer, more beer.
We've got wine over here, too. I see somebody drinking some wine.
Absolutely.
So you got whatever you want. It's a great place to be. Come and join us. We'll be here for another 45 minutes or so.
And everybody who gets pizza between now and 6 gets a free pizza on their next visit, and somebody's going to win free pizza for a year. Sounds like, I don't know, part of the compensation package that Jerry is going to offer to one of these head coaches. Incentive-based. If you win, you get free pizza. But they did complete an interview virtually today with Kellen Moore. Let's talk about it. John Machota from The Athletic joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. John, about a 2-hour Zoom meeting is what we're seeing being reported. I'm a little surprised with Kellen that the interview took that long, considering they didn't have to do the whole get-to-know-you part of the process.
Yeah, maybe they just want to know where he's at in terms of if anything's changed, the way he plans on going about, what his plan would be to build a staff and things like that. Obviously they know him well, so I don't know. Maybe they're just crossing their T's and dotting their I's, but I'm interested in this whole process because it's been a while since they've had a long, several name coaching search. I mean, at Wade Phillips, when he was hired, that was the last time they did that. And so it seems like that's what they're trying to do here, is that they're not just trying to bring in a couple of people like they did with McCarthy before. And so we'll see. I would think Kellen Moore is probably pretty high on the list, but I think they're going to do a lot more interviews than just 2 or 3. And so we will see. And maybe Kellen Moore is coaching a team that, goes into the Super Bowl.
It's interesting, John, the in-person interviews now that we get to look forward to with Robert Saleh and Leslie Frazier. What are you hearing about those two guys? Do the Cowboys consider either one of those guys as really legit head coaching candidates?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I would say the thing with Robert Saleh, though, that's interesting is that if he was to maybe not get their head coaching job and not getting a head coaching job somewhere else, maybe there would be interest in him potentially being their defensive coordinator. I've seen people mention that. I will say I do think that's a little bit of a long shot just because I believe there's a defensive coordinator opening with the 49ers where he was the defensive coordinator before. And I think there's a good chance that Aaron Glenn, the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator, gets a head coaching job. And so that would open up the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator spot. And Robert Saleh is from Michigan. And so there's going to be some other options if it's DC. So I don't know if that's necessarily what he'll end up doing in Dallas, but, I don't know how hard you guys want to criticize him for what happened with the Jets, but the Jets are not a great run organization. So I don't know how much you hold that against him, but I just remember in 2021 when that coaching cycle was going on, he was a very, very elite name in that list. And so if they look at him that way still, then yeah, I think he could be a serious potential head coaching candidate. Leslie Frazier would be kind of a surprise to me. That name was kind of a surprise when that one surfaced, but hey, maybe it's something where, he blows them away in their interview. I mean, what it comes down to for me in all these interviews is it's got to be how do you sell the Joneses on how you're going to make this offense successful, because you spend all this money on Dak and CD. That's where everything starts with them. And so when you make the investment in particularly a franchise quarterback, you better have a really good plan, especially if you're a defensive coach, on how you're going to make Dak successful. And so maybe one of these candidates has a great plan for that and maybe blows the Cowboys away and maybe gives them an interview that they weren't expecting.
It's going to be interesting to follow as we talk with John Machota from The Athletic. Deion Sanders at the beginning of the week, man, all the publicity there maybe has died down just a little bit. And, man, I can't wait to see the Cowboys PR put out that they have completed an interview with Deion. And when Troy Aikman speaks, you listen, especially knowing that Troy, his comments is something that Jerry does listen to. And, his comments on the ticket up in Dallas this week were very pro Deion, but then at the same time, he said, he likes a play caller to be the head coach, and Deion isn't that. If Deion were to get the job, I mean, the excitement level would be there. The content Cowboys would be incredible, but then you wonder who would his coordinators be. How real do you think a Deion Sanders job, how real do you think this is? Could it happen?
I mean, it could because it's the Cowboys. I still think it's unlikely, and I just say that because I do think Deion really likes what he's built in Boulder, and I think that Deion enjoys being a college coach and being able to, mold young, still student type players that I don't know how much of that you do in the NFL. Developing young men. I mean, there obviously is some of that in the NFL, no question, but there's more of that in college, obviously bigger teams, bigger rosters and things like that. And in Boulder, he can pretty much do what he wants, or at least it seems like that from afar. I don't know how much of the same he could do with the Cowboys because, him and Jerry, they would be entertaining, but I don't know how well they would actually work together, how much they would actually be in unison. Whereas in Boulder, I don't know really anything that's come out of, button heads with an AD or coaches on other, programs or whatever. Whereas with Jerry Jones, how long is it going to be a smooth sail before one says something that the other one doesn't like? I mean, they're both talking to the media all the time. I don't know if it would be a great fit. And again, I don't know if that's what Deion absolutely wants to do, but it would be fascinating for our jobs for sure. But again, just like I said about the last question, the key to all of this would be who will be that offensive coordinator, who will be that defensive coordinator. I don't have any doubt that Deion could be a successful NFL coach, but he would have to have the right staff with him.
Yeah, there's no question about that, there's a lot of candidates out there. I think he could probably get that done. And I'm with you, John. I think for our business, that would be like winning the lottery. Content-wise, we would never be short of something to talk about. Well, the question is, and we get this question all the time, is Jerry looking for someone that he can, for lack of a better word, control? Right. I mean, so Kellen Moore to me seems to fit that mold. He's not going to push back on anything Jerry does. And the history of the Cowboys, there's been a lot of those guys that really don't do that. Is Jerry looking for a guy like that? Or do you think he'd take a chance on somebody that might, I don't know, talk back to him a little bit?
I think if he was talking to you right now, he would tell you that he is looking for, that's not an issue. He would be just fine with somebody that's going to talk back and they're going to argue and butt heads and things like that. But in reality, I just don't see that being the case. And I don't see that being the person that ultimately gets this job. I think it will follow in the path of more of Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips, Mike McCarthy, where they're not going to say things that are going to, really, anger Jerry, like maybe something that Deion Sanders would say or something Bill Parcells would say or Jimmy Johnson would say. And I just don't think at 82 years old that Jerry ultimately would decide that will be his final decision is to bring in a coach like that. I just don't see it happening. I mean, the thing that I still feel very confident in is that I think that somewhere on the staff, Jason Witten will be a part of it. And if you have a really strong-minded head coach who doesn't want any part of that or being, just like kind of when Mike McCarthy took over, Kellen Moore was on the staff. I don't know that they're really interested in hiring a coach like that. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they'll surprise us. But I think it'll be more of a hire where Jerry feels comfortable at the end of the day.
John Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. The sizzle is obviously Deion Sanders. The safe feels like Kellen Moore. If Kellen Moore gets the job, and you're in that building a lot, and certainly a lot more than Ryan Egel and myself, Do you think Kellen would struggle in commanding the respect of all the players in that locker room? Just, his personality, his demeanor. Do you think that would be an issue in the room? I'm not worried about Jerry selling it to the fan base. I mean, that will happen, and fans are going to say what they're going to say. But in that room, in that first team meeting, are players going to take him seriously, especially on the defensive side? Would Kellen Moore just automatically, as head coach, get the respect of, say, a Micah Parsons?
So it's interesting because he doesn't have that big personality. And the worst thing I feel like you can do as a head coach is then you get that job and then you start faking it. And people are just like, and then you're not even authentic, and people will see right through that. You're not going to win that way. So if it was to be Kellen Moore, I think the best thing that he could do, he'd have to hire, who's his DC? I mean, that's such an important hire there. Obviously, if he was somehow able to keep Mike Zimmer, that's a former head coach that you could bounce ideas off of, as well as someone who obviously earned the respect of that defensive room and of the locker room last year, that they spoke very highly of him, Micah included, obviously. And so, but my thing is the way that Kellen would have to win them over is he'd have to win them over with his plan, whether it's the structure for OTAs, mini camp, training camp, and his plan for how he's going to implement the game plan and how they're going to be successful. Because I can say that I feel very confident that if he has a great plan and the X's and O's are great, and it's great complementary football on both sides, and everything is very well run, the players will respect that. No question about it. You don't have to yell at them and things like that. You have to make them successful. If he looks like he's putting them in a position where they can be at their best, they'll buy in. But if he's not doing that, and there's an assistant or somebody else on the staff that's trying to undermine him, and there's all these things behind the scenes, well, then it's going to be tough for him. But I think the worst thing he could do is try and come in and try and be somebody different than who he has been, because I think we all have a pretty good feel of his personality, whether you go back to Boise State or his time as a player or assistant coach.
John, how does, if at all, Al Harris fit into any of this? Has he been talked about at all being anything? Defensive coordinator? Will he get an interview for the head coaching job? Is there any plan for him?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Al Harris getting, a head coaching interview or being on the next staff. I know he is a fan favorite. I know the players really like him, but I have not heard anything about him being in this coaching search at all. I am interested to see if there are any assistants that stay on or get, hired onto the new staff. Lunda Wells, the tight ends coach, very well respected as well. There are some other people, and as you mentioned, Al, that, yeah, maybe they do, but in terms of the head coaching, I haven't heard anything with any connection there.
It's just going to be so interesting to see how it plays out. And, at least from the perception, it kind of feels like Jerry's a little behind the curve and wasn't expecting this. Then Diana Rossini with The Athletic has the comments on her podcast today that Jerry was expecting Mike McCarthy to come back. How much are you hearing about how accurate that Rossini comment is, that Jerry thought Mike was coming back, and a little surprised that he is now looking for another head coach?
Oh, I know. I don't have any doubts about that at all. But I think that a lot of people, when I hear that being brought up, I think they get lost in the idea of that Jerry only wanted him back on a short term. You know what I'm saying? It was going to have to be on Jerry's terms. It wasn't like he was just like, Mike, love everything you're doing. Want to give you a new 5-year deal, give you a raise. Let's keep this thing going. And Mike goes, no, I can't work with you anymore. Because I've been noticing people trying to take it down that path where it's just like nobody can work with Jerry. No, Jerry, I don't think wanted to give the same exact contract that he was before. And frankly, coming off the Packers loss, the way last season ended, and then the way this season went, I don't know how psyched Cowboys fans would be if last week it's announced that Mike McCarthy has a new 5-year deal. So it is interesting. I understand that. I feel like at no time since maybe parting ways with Tom Landry have the fans been this annoyed with Jerry. And so I think a lot of people want to latch on to they showed him, they told Jerry he's not going to take that. It's no, I find it very hard to believe that if a solid contract offer was made, that Mike would still be here. And I think a great example of it was the last time we heard Mike talk. He made it clear that he wanted to remain and continue to be the Dallas Cowboys head coach, which to a certain extent kind of even surprised me, with how much he said in that final post-game press conference. But he didn't leave any gray area of like, well, we'll see. We're going to meet in the out, whatever, next week. He said he wanted to continue being their coach. So I think it was that Jerry was like, yeah, I want him to be the coach too, but on my terms, and it was not going to be the same guarantee and the same contract as it was, when he was originally hired.
All right, John, what does your gut tell you about this process? Do you see this being a long process? Will Jerry wait till some of these teams fall off and maybe interview some of the people that get knocked out of the playoffs, or do you see it being quicker than that?
I don't see it being quicker. I think it goes into at least into next week and maybe even the week after, because the week after, that's when you'll who's going to the Super Bowl, and so there should be some more assistants that become available. But then it's also the Senior Bowl week that week, and that's when a lot of teams are together, and I think that could maybe speed some things up. The only way I think it goes further than that is if they've really focused in on really wanting to make a run at one of the coordinators that are on one of the teams that are in the Super Bowl. But if it's not that, I could see it being done before the Super Bowl. But I don't think it's going to be quick. Like, I don't think that we find out next week that these were the only 3 interviews and then they're just going with Kellen Moore. I don't think it will be that.
Now, you mentioned, the coordinators. After your Lions take out Washington tomorrow night, what are your thoughts on Cliff Kingsbury in Dallas for an interview and ultimately ending up with the job?
I mean, I could see him getting interviewed. It's interesting because it is like the Robert Saleh thing where it's like, well, he was a previous head coach, didn't have a lot of success there. But the flip side from Saleh is that he is an offensive guy. And as you mentioned with Troy Aikman, I think a lot of people agree with Troy that, it's a good thing I shouldn't say it's a good thing. You can see the advantages of having your head coach also be your offensive play caller. Just in today's NFL, let's be honest, just look the way the game's officiated. It's not 50-50 anymore. It's an offensive league, so that makes sense. And I could see that being the type of personality and the type of guy that Jerry would be interested in. And I don't see Cliff being a guy that would ruffle Jerry's feathers or try and take the spotlight away from Jerry. So I think Jerry would be fine with that. So yeah, I could see that being a possibility.
So do your Lions win tomorrow night, John?
Yes.
I mean, I think so. I guess Jaden Daniels would have to have the best game of his what has been a very impressive rookie year. Don't get me wrong with that, but I mean, I expect it just to be a crazy environment. So that's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot different than the environment you deal with when you're playing in Tampa Bay. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, if they're able to, I think Washington, for them to win, Jaden Daniels has played great, and Washington cannot turn the ball over once. If they even turn it over once, they're in trouble. But if they can take care of it, I mean, there's issues with that Lions defense, not having Aleem McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson. But I mean, when you have a divisional game and the point spread is 9.5, 10, it's hard to go against the favorite to win the game.
Do you see any major upsets this weekend? And again, there's only one game where it's basically a pick 'em. Do you give the Texans any chance against Kansas City?
It would be tough. I mean, I think the Texans can give them a game, but I just don't see just the way that the Chiefs have been, not just this year, but the last 3 years. I mean, they get it done in crunch time. And so that's the thing. Like, I could see the Texans keeping it close, maybe even having a lead going in the fourth quarter, something like that. But I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs team. They've just accomplished too much, and they just played too many games like this in this big moment that I just can't see it there. And then I really don't if the Eagles were playing maybe in LA, it would be different. But with that being in Philadelphia, I don't think that's a great matchup for the Rams. So no, I really don't see any upsets.
All right, well, let's put you on the spot then, John, as long as we got you. Ravens or Bills?
I'm going to say Bills. I think Josh Allen, I mean, it's tough because there's so much to like about the Ravens too. I just think ultimately Josh Allen is kind of due. And I've thought all season long it's going to come down to the Bills and the Chiefs for whoever wins the AFC. And I don't know. It's tough to count out the Bills. So I'm going to go with the Bills by, I don't know, we'll say 24-20.
24-20.
right.
It's going to be a fun weekend. Make sure you're following John Machota on Twitter at John Machota, Jon, and subscribe to The Athletic. Cowboys searching for a new coach next Friday. We'll talk about more interviews, maybe even a head coach. Who knows? John, enjoy your football weekend. We'll catch up to you next Friday.
Exciting times, boys. I look forward to it.
Appreciate it. John
Yes,
Machota on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
You trying to go to the break early or what?
Well, no, it's just, normally I push a button when John is done or anybody else, and I just did. It just happened to be my microphone.
Oh, my goodness.
Pledge is pushing the other button.
That's right.
It's exactly what it is. We're here at Round Table Pizza. It's just, I'm jonesing for that beer. We're about 30 minutes away from getting our first one of it this Friday afternoon. Come hang out with us here at Round Table Pizza. They've got beer. They've got pizza. They got it all, and everybody who gets a pizza before 6. I mean, you got about 25 minutes to get in here. You get a pizza today, you get a free one on your next visit. And you could win a pizza.
Yes.
For a year. Free pizza for a year.
Free for a year.
Yeah. Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home through the years. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Great local company that has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So whatever your project is, it costs you nothing to figure out what it will take to get done, because Hill Electric will make sure you're getting all the info you need. Call 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the playoffs are set. The finals are in place. We'll look at what's coming in the NFL.
And the championship game of college football will be played. We'll discuss the matchup, see who we think's taking home the big trophy. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fight. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Come on, Mufasa. Let's get in some trouble.
This holiday season, destiny awaits you. You can grab your friends and experience Mufasa the Lion King in 3D. Everything the light touches belongs to me. You'll have to take it. Don't miss the perfect family Christmas movie.
Knowing swimmingly, if I say so myself.
Disney's Mufasa the Lion King.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
Now playing only theaters. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Tickets on sale now.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Now at North Park Chevrolet, buy a new 2025 Chevrolet Malibu RS posted at $21,999 plus low 1.9% financing. Got a $1,000 owner loyalty bonus on new 2025 Trailblazers plus 3.9% financing for 75 months. And make no payments until May 2025 on new 2025 Trax. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. Every day, ZipRecruiter helps people who are actively looking for jobs like yours, so it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix at Round Table Pizza, 281 and Stone Oak Parkway, this location. 542, you got time to get in here, get a pizza, get a free pizza on your next visit. Register to win pizza for a year. Can't beat that.
Are you kidding me? That'd be like a dream come true. Pizza for a year.
Well,
that would be awesome.
What's even better is in 18 minutes, there's a cold beer right over there with our names on it.
Okay. Yes, there sure is.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
And then stick around and
it's Friday night. I don't know. The beer just tastes better on a Friday night.
Beer tastes better on any day that ends in Y.
It does, but there's something about a Friday night that just makes a cold beer taste that much better.
That's what it is. And I'm told the jalapeno poppers here are really good.
Yeah.
This guy said, yeah, you want one? Sure, I'll get one during the break, and then he ate them all.
He ate them all. Oh, way to go.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex.
Dude, you can't handle a jalapeno popper.
Well, I asked if I could, and good seeing you, man. He said they weren't all that spicy. See, I like a good jalapeno popper.
You seriously think he was telling you the truth?
Yeah. He wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah.
Dude, I order jalapeno poppers all over the place. But I gotta, try one first. Can I handle them at this place? Right? There are places that have them where you get that great flavor without the heat. I'm not gonna do a ghost pepper challenge anywhere.
Oh my gosh! But I'll never do it again.
Wuss.
Yeah, wuss. Yeah, okay. Dude, I thought I was gonna die. At least I showed up for work. My good friend Bill Taylor did not.
Yep.
Yeah, he was going, oh, I'm sick. I can't make it. Jeez.
Really?
Yes.
He called out?
He called out.
Did you have to do the weather?
No, I didn't do the weather. There was some other weather dude there. It's just plug and play with those weather guys. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. They should just have you do it. Everybody thought you were the weather guy anyway.
Exactly right. I probably, like a toupee, a black toupee on top of my head, look more like Taylor, and put some, black stuff in between my teeth, so it looks like I got a space between there.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's true.
You're well, everybody knows about his gap tooth, but are you saying Taylor wears a toupee?
No. I'm just saying because his hair is a little darker than mine.
Well, you don't need a toupee. You just need hair dye.
But I can't do that in between. I'd have to go darker for the weather and then get lighter real quick for the sports.
Now, there was a weatherman there that did have a very bad toupee or even wig. He used to do mornings. I don't want to call him out, but there were times where you'd see him walking around the station without his hair on.
Who was that, dude? I can't recall.
I don't know that I should really say Tony Mann's name on the radio.
Oh, Tony Mann. Yes. I remember that. That's exactly right.
I was him walking in the building and he had the tape things on and he'd put his hair on before the show started.
There were several people that did that.
Really?
Well, I say several. Some weren't necessarily on air, folks. Though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some look better than others. But I remember we play golf with a guy, and it would blow in the wind. It's kind of it was always funny.
Mm-hmm. Let's do Prime Picks.
Okay.
Prime Picks on the Blitz.
Well, we are coming down to the wire with our Prime Picks. What a great weekend we have. Reinagel dominated last week, going 6-2. Pledge went 500 at 4-4, and I had my worst week of the year. I went 3-5, but I still have a major lead overall at 132-66. Pledge is at 126-74. Reinagel only 2 behind at 124-74.
That's why I'm going to have to change one of my picks because I'm only 1 different than Pledge. I got to be 2 different than Pledge to at least tie the guy.
Yeah, we got to adjust the math because you both don't have. I think you've got 76 losses, right? I don't know. We'll do the math and figure it out.
Yeah.
Wins are all that matters.
That's
right?
all that matters.
All right. So this weekend, in all 4 playoff games this weekend, live right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. All 4 games, including the Houston Texans. They take on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Look, I'm sorry. I would love to go out on a limb and pick the Texans here, but the Chiefs, they flip a switch when it comes to this time of year. I don't care what they did in the regular season, how they barely got by anybody. They flip a switch. They're going to do the same thing. And their quest for a three-peat continues when they beat the Texans tomorrow afternoon.
I like Kansas City for everything you just said. It's Patrick Mahomes, and it's the playoffs. There's playoff Prescott. The complete opposite is playoff Patrick. And although the layoff, I want to see how it affects the Kansas City Chiefs. If they get off to a slow start and the Texans get off to a fast start, all bets are off. But then again, I remember a couple of years ago, Houston was up like 24-0 on the Chiefs and still lost.
That's true. They were. What was that, 2019? I think it wasn't that long ago. But, yes, I do remember that. And so it doesn't really matter. Patrick Mahomes is a different dude when it comes to playoff time. I fully expect to see that Patrick Mahomes tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is with the Chiefs. They're playing well, even though that they have had that time off. It's going to be cold, extremely cold, high of 24 up in Kansas City.
Yikes.
Yeah, and let's face it, if you've been paying attention, the Chiefs struggled offensively for a lot of the year. Those struggles since Hollywood Brown has come back have gone away. And so I feel a lot better about the Chiefs doing what they do, which is simmering all season long, turning it on late, and then making a push through the playoffs.
I want to credit you, Pledge, for picking your side chick over your main squeeze.
Absolutely, Pledge.
Washington against the Detroit Lions. Detroit all day.
Boat race. Not even close. Washington rolls in this thing. I'm sorry. Detroit rolls in this thing because they're not going to be able to keep up with that Detroit offense. Detroit's going to outscore them. It's not even. I'd see like a 42-20 kind of game.
Woo. The one concern I do have is on defense for the Detroit Lions. But Aaron Glenn seems to have gotten them playing well these last few weeks. They seem to have gotten things right. I don't know if that was just a Minnesota thing or if that's something that can continue on. But even without the defense, I think that offense is competent enough to carry them through this game tomorrow.
So all of us are taking the Chiefs, all 3 taking at Detroit. On Sunday, you get the Rams and the Eagles.
I'm taking the LA Rams. I kind of think they're the team of some destiny. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but I think they're good enough. They've gotten healthy at the right time. Now, the only problem is a lot of their players have never played in snow before, and there is a great possibility they could be doing that on Sunday. Still, though, I'm going to go with the better quarterback That's Matthew Stafford. I'm taking the Rams to pull off the upset.
I would go with everything you just said, except for in the snow, in the wind, in the weather. I'm going with the better running back, and that is Saquon Barkley. I'm going to throw up in my mouth as I say this. Give me Philly.
I'm also taking Philly. That offense has played extremely well this year. There is going to be snow in the forecast for that game. And I'm taking the team that is used to playing in those conditions, and they have a ton of weapons.
The nightcap, the game of the week of the century of Baltimore at Buffalo.
All right, I'm going to start. Look, I picked the Bills, but I'm going to see if I can negotiate with Pledge here, because Pledge also has the Bills. Pledge, you want the Ravens or you want to stick with the Bills? Because either you make the choice, and I'm going to go the other way.
I'm sticking with the MVP playing at home and potentially what is it? Gritty snow.
Yeah, well, no, it's a working man snow.
Working man snow.
We found that out.
It's not hoity-toity.
Right? Yeah, Denver can't handle that working man snow. They had that hoity-toity Denver snow.
It didn't even snow.
Couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't handle it. It's the cold.
Well,
I'm going to stick with the MVP and Josh Allen.
All right, then I got to switch my bet. I'm taking the Ravens.
You realize we keep going after this week, right?
Oh, we do?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
That's right. But here's the thing, Pledge. I am taking the MVP in Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And again, that was my preseason Super Bowl pick. You can't change it back. You just
I'm changing it back. I mean, I didn't realize. I was thinking this was the finale.
So early.
It's not.
I mean,
it's really early still, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we've got the conference championship week and then the Super Bowl. I mean, you've got no chance of catching me.
Well, at this point, I'm not trying to catch you. I'm trying to finish second.
But after this weekend, there's 3 games left.
Okay.
So you're 2 behind.
My original pick was the Bills. I'm going to stick with that.
All right. So now you can only got one, and you're going to be so mad when Baltimore wins this game.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to be mad.
You had it.
That game could go either way.
It really could, but I am taking the MVP and Lamar Jackson to win this game at Buffalo.
You mean Dak Prescott Jr.? So you're taking?
Are you talking about Josh Allen?
No, I'm talking about Lamar Jackson.
And tell me all of Josh's playoff success.
I just asked
hold
you
on.
a question.
Tell me how many Super Bowls.
Okay, so we got
been?
2 Dak Prescott
all right, there
Jr.'s
we go.
going. Okay, then.
There we go. Monday night, Ohio State, Notre Dame. The national championship game, a game you can listen to Monday here on 94.1, brought to you by the Break Room Bar, Smoky Mo's Barbecue, and Ewald Kubota. Ohio State and Notre Dame. Now, Pledge, I think this is where you and Ryan Eagle should negotiate. You make your pick and have Ryan Eagle take the other one. Because I would love to hear Joe say he is taking Notre Dame.
You will never hear that sound come out of my mouth.
You might hear bleep the Domers.
That will never happen. I don't care. I'll finish dead last and be happy about it, but I won't take Notre Dame. Ohio State's just playing too good a ball right now. I don't think Notre Dame's seen anything like what they're going to see Monday night. Ohio State wins this one going away.
I'm taking Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Oh, that was exciting. You can come watch this game. Monday, we'll be live at the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. Prime pick. So, Pledge, are we off? We're only off on one, right?
What, us?
Yeah, just the Baltimore game.
Just the Baltimore game. We're lockstep on everything else.
All right, good deal. Good deal. That's going to do it for us.
Yeah,
that was
it's
fantastic.
The weekend, baby.
It's beer time.
Yes, it is.
Time to order some more pizza and some poppers. Cold beer.
Ooh.
Greg's making another trip to the salad bar. What the hell is going on?
I got to go win a stuffed animal before I leave.
We'll see you guys Monday at the Rue Pub. 2 to 6 as we get ready for that national championship game. Extra innings with Pledge coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. After